Hyde. They're young.
You're going to strike out a lot. You're going to strike out if you're playing in the big leagues, and he doesn't mind.
I do admire that. He takes the hit and he just keeps going. The confidence is still there.
He goes, I felt good. I know one night he had tickets ready to go, and the girl bagged him at the last second after the station got him tickets. I mean, that was a tough one. That was a tough one, but you know what? The way you bounce back, I think all day, Dan Day, we can all appreciate, the highs and lows of not doing well with the ladies.
Hey, even the best hitters don't get on base 7 out of 10
right.
times.
That's right. Baseball is a great analogy.
I think Jamie's the Jacob Marcy of swiping.
Oh, come on, don't do it.
He walks around full of confidence, and he shows just enough that he's got a big game.
David,
and I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting.
So when I looked at Jamie, I thought about Marcy for a second, center fielder.
I
did, but I was not going to say it.
Compliments over there.
Did Marcy get any hits last night in that loss? Just look it up.
I don't think he played at all.
He just told him.
You got to take it out the game. No, he's got a good game. He's got a good air about him. He looks like a big league, and he is a big league player. And I'm rooting for him. But
I got to tell you, he's showing no signs on my TV that usually when you struggle that long at the plate, and by the way, thank God he's got everybody around him starting to hit. They end up losing last night, by the way. But take another series, take 2 out of 3, and on their way to play. I keep wanting to say the Oakland A's, and I have to move about 2 hours up the road to Sacramento. But they're not calling them the Sacramento A's. They're just calling them, I guess, the A's
because they're there for 1 year or 2. I assume.
I don't know. Is this second year they've been there? It is the second year. Boy, that Vegas. I'm still not sold. This Vegas, I guess they're building the park. But they weren't gung ho there. There for a while, they kind of went cold on that whole deal after. Listen, the greatest deal of all time, everybody used to say, was the Marlins getting their ballpark, and then Vegas jumped in there and gave them that football stadium for nothing.
Now the NBA's putting together an ownership package there.
It's a great market.
Yeah.
Great market.
How we've changed. It used to be immoral to put a team in Vegas, right?
Isn't that amazing? Who was it that went out there and got in trouble for doing a fantasy football league out there? One of the players, one of the good ones, it was one of the quarterbacks went out there and he got in trouble for being out there.
Dallas's quarterback.
Romo. And a few years later, they got a team out there. And by the way, you look out the window. Have you been to that the stadium? I was walking around. They give us the tours usually when the first time we were there. And, and I've been to Vegas a few times. And I want to see him, man. You look out in the one side and you see the casinos. I mean, they're right there.
Yep.
You jump on the other side of the freeway there and hello, they're right there. Anyway, hey, we got all kinds of stuff. USA last night gets a nice 2-0 win. Did you stay and watch the whole thing?
I did, and it was impressive. How was it? These hours, I debated going to sleep at halftime, but it was an impressive win. They get a red card. They're in about 60. They had to play 30 minutes about with down a man. Think of hockey. You put a guy in the penalty box, 30 minutes of a power play for Bosnia. Yeah. And US, they didn't fold. They scored their second goal. Great kick, direct kick, free kick. It was Messi-like, that goal.
Yeah.
And it was, win 2-0 at this level. That's a big win.
They haven't done this since 2002. First knockout win that they've been able to get, and that's a long time. And got a little confidence. They're going to step it up, though. They got Belgium next.
Belgium was down. Well, you called me, and I left the house. They were down 2-0.
Yeah, I told you. I go, no, you're not going to believe what just happened. I'm watching the end of it. There's only a few minutes left. They made 2-1. I go, so okay. Next thing you know, they get another one and get that thing and end up coming back and winning that game. It was amazing. By the way, England is looking in trouble. They were in trouble yesterday. And Sir Harry Kane has 2 great goals at the end of the game. I mean, they're hey, man, it's about star power. And for me, when you hear certain names and then you see them play really well, and for me, as a very casual soccer fan, I just didn't grow up with it, David. I just was not around it as a kid. But no excuse, I get it.
You can still enjoy it or not enjoy it if you want.
But I will tell you, man, when you see greatness, Harry Kane and breaking down that second kick going one way and hitting a fastball the other way and lifts it. It was beautiful. And that's kind of been one of the stories of this World Cup is the great players are playing great. Mbappe, Messi, Kane. I think they have 6 and 5 goals now in this tournament. Just tremendous. It's just weird that they set those guys up either with headers or moving around and get them the ball to have a chance.
The fascinating thing to me about soccer, those guys, if you put it together, they have like 60 seconds in the game of high intense play, and they have to score in those 60. There's like 3 plays they have a chance to score on.
Yeah, you don't get them every time around. It's getting kicked around and
their moments. And how about the Ghana witch doctor? He lifted the curse on Harry Kane from when Ghana played England. He put the curse on Harry Kane. Then he lifted it, and now Harry Kane scores 2 goals. I think there's something to that now.
Yeah, man.
Some of the side plots to this World Cup are fun.
If I found out somebody did that to me, I don't want to know because I'm such a head case. It would have just I'd have been thinking about it the whole game. Like, oh man, that guy, he got me. And everybody gets, now it's me. Man, we got some crazy stuff. I'm a Jaylen Brown fan, and not because he went to Cal Berkeley, but that he's a damn good basketball player. I'm curious. Last night, it's part of the East, the reason I bring it up, and the East is shifting here a little bit. Jaylen Brown, I don't think anybody saw this coming. Going to the 76ers for Paul George, a couple of first-round picks, couple of second-round picks. Paul George, 36 years old, and has trouble staying. Another guy at 36.
And has a big contract. He has the same contract as Jaylen Brown,
huge
except
contract.
1 year less. But
huge contract, and I know the guys like him because I hear all the former players talking when he's healthy and how good he is. Well, he's not healthy a lot. They got Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe and the whole group. Is it just me? And I don't trust Joel Embiid. Speaking of bad knees, walking around and looks like he can hardly get off the ground now. And he's got obviously great skill set, but he just hasn't been able to stay healthy either. But I like what Philadelphia did.
Dan Shaughnessy of the Boston Globe's first word of his column today is stupefying. And that sort of sums up what is Boston doing?
They have such a great reputation. They've given those guys benefit of the doubt at the top of that organization. And I'm like, Jaylen Brown, something had to happen. You brought this up yesterday. Something happened with Jaylen Brown where he crossed the line or he pissed off Tatum or somebody else, and they said, get rid of him. I don't know what happened. They said the Giannis deal fell through or whatever, but they didn't try to patch that thing up. They were like, now we're going to find his ass a home somewhere else.
I think there had to be something toxic behind the scenes, right? Because for them to trade, the surprise to me, first of all, they traded him, then they traded him to Philadelphia, and then they traded him for as little as they got. I mean, we talked about the Paul George contract being so heavy. Typically in the NBA, to get rid of a contract like that, you have to give a first-round pick. So there's one of the first-round picks in the deal. So basically, they traded Jaylen Brown for 1 first-round, 2 second-round picks. I don't get it. I don't understand what they're doing.
Again, the Jaylen Brown thing, and I saw some other teams are kind of bummed out that they didn't try to get Jaylen Brown either. I don't know. Again, we're on the outside, and I always have to remind myself we're on the outside, and sometimes you'll talk to somebody and somebody will say, oh, we've had it happen. I'm found out, and like, hey, dude, he's a bad guy. He destroys our team, and we win, and he pouts and makes the shows, and I go, oh, I didn't know that. I appreciate you telling me that. So I don't know all this stuff. I don't know the Tatum Brown relationship. I don't know how. All I know is you and I probably spent too much time talking about his comments after the year was over on how fun it was to be the number 1 guy and lead his team winning all those games in the regular season, even though they collapsed with a 3-1 lead in the playoffs.
And those are his public comments. So who knows what he's saying behind the scenes? But whatever it was, Brad Stevens, the Boston GM, said we got to get rid of him at whatever cost. And it's shocking to me.
David, the other crazy thing is he came out after the Giannis deal and he said, hey, man, no hard feelings. This is where I want to be. He came out and said, I want to stay. I'd like to finish my career in Boston. I mean, he looks around, he realizes they're doing something right. They won 57 games besides his 29 points a night that he was scoring. Yeah, it was a crazy one. We got all kinds of other stuff, and I did want to ask you this morning, just a little teaser out there as you're getting up and rolling around. How does this big three sound to you? Giannis, Bam, and LeBron.
That sounds like one that can win the East.
I don't know, man. They were teasing us yesterday. They're going, well, this Miami thing's not so crazy. And I'm like, boy, Pat and those guys behind the scenes they are getting after it. Hey, there's not a Heat fan out there, and if you are against that, please don't let us know. Find another show. Don't text me. Don't try to get a hold of me. Don't try to social media me, man. Don't do it. LeBron, Bam, and Giannis. Whatever order you want to do, that is 65 to 70 points a night when healthy. I got to tell you, they're filling in the team. Timmy Hardaway, 13 a night. Andrew Wiggins, 15, 16 a night. Bobby Portis, 13 to 15 a night. Davion Mitchell, Pella Larson.
That's a contending team, right?
That's
there.
not bad.
That's a contending team.
We got a lot of role guys going to have to continue to hit. You got to have more than 3 guys in double digits. But I named some guys that are proven guys. And I don't know. What do you expect out of Jovic, by the way? 6'10". I'm tired of hearing about the potential. Because if he doesn't grow up, neck up, it won't matter. He's going to be a 6'10" guy with a lot of talent, lost in life.
2 years ago when he got that contract, a nice contract, all you heard was, oh, man, when he's out of the lineup, we're not nearly as good. And then last year, it was like, where did that guy go? So maybe when you look back on his career, that will be the lost year, and he'll get back on it. But
you want to do Spo won't be happy with this. Do the short leash Spo list. I can think of a couple names on there, including one guy that just traded.
Yeah.
Khalil Ware goes, oh, I know all about it. I've heard about it.
What I like about the Heat.
Duncan Robinson, maybe the president of the club.
It wasn't an effort with Duncan Robinson, though. It was he's one dimension,
yeah.
and if
no matter how hard he tries, he's
right. But there are standards at the Heat, and if Khalil Ware, I'd watch him in games, and he'd like make threes. Where is he? He's just not, the effort isn't there, and so I like that there are standards for guys, and you bench them rather than say, oh well, he's got to play through this, and no, you're hurting the team. Grow up.
All right. You got a little old schooling.
I do.
You're not as bad as Bo, who's a grumpy old school guy, but you got a little old school in you. There's
look like Khalil Ware. You see who he can be, but coming out of in the draft, that was the knock on him. His first couple years, that's the knock on him. Guys, sometimes you just don't grow out of that, right?
Dave, I got to tell you, in life, it's funny because I just had this discussion with some of our guys. We'll sit back about how we were all raised. I mean, I know how all my buddies, Danny, Jimmy, Nat, I know how everybody was raised. We've talked through the years about, none of us were pampered, and all of us pretty much have the same backgrounds. And my dad reminds me when something happens with my kids, and I'll say something, he'll go, well,
you know how he'd deal with it, right?
Yeah. He just, again, he loves the grandkids and stuff, but I'm guessing has said, you've done it. It's you've seen it, and you talk the same way I do, and we take it over to sports. Listen, man, you got stuck with your coach back then. You were stuck with your coach. I mean, things were just
you work it out. You play harder.
My dad, I had a couple coaches, growing up I wasn't crazy about, and I remember going to him, hey man, I'm getting out. First thing I want to do is quit. I mean, first thing, like, I want to get on another team. I want to quit. I'm not having fun. He goes, no, I ain't quitting. I went to Cal Berkeley and was at camp, and they were just destroying us with initiation, just destroying us with things they had. I mean, I was running naked through the hills up in Berkeley. I mean, literally with underwear on sometimes. And I was like, this is abusive, man. I came here, as a guy highly recruited, not for this. And I called him one night. I said, hey man, no cell phones. You had to get to that phone at the dorm.
Yeah.
At the end of the dorm where all the freshman class was. I go, I got to get out of here. I'm eligible for junior college. My guys are starting up here in a couple weeks, man. I want to go back to Yuba College. And he goes, how you getting home? That's all he had to say. You ain't quitting. But you can't do that. Now parents go, well, we'll find 7 schools for you.
But when you think of how sports has improved, I hear all these hazing stories. That's just stupid. That was just stupid. Making, for instance, you run through the hills naked.
Or maybe like chugging beers after practice with the Miami Dolphins.
Is that
for the
right?
veteran. Oh, yeah. We went to Lums. We had to chug beers.
Yeah.
You want to keep going on. Oh, yeah, man. Now these guys, I don't think they do anything. Occasionally somebody has to buy a beer or pick up some
used to be dinner,
pick up some fast food.
And I think that's even, well, yeah, right. Bring
I
donuts
see guys
in
bringing in Popeyes, on the plane of rookies and, passing it out.
That's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
No, that's fine. That's harmless.
But
and it's not even
having
a big
their
deal.
whole bodies shaved. I've heard so many abusive stories. It's like, what's the purpose of that?
Getting strapped down. That was a big one where just bully you, strap you to the goalpost. That's abusive. It is kind of funny now that I look back. Kind of funny to look now. Hey, I'll tell you what's not funny and is great is your South Florida Chevy dealers. As I say good morning to everybody here on a Thursday, your South Florida Chevy dealers. Trucks have never looked better. I always like early in the morning to talk about Chevy trucks because I know a lot of guys getting up early that work on their own, that depend on a durable truck. I know it. I know what's going on. I see it. I see it living out in Davie. And if you're looking for a truck, full-time working truck to just a family truck and even a truck that can help you out on the weekends, enjoy your family with wave runners and boats and everything else, well, I'll tell you what, whether it's a Chevy Colorado to the Chevy Silverado, you just can't go wrong. Speaking of the Chevy Silverado, 10 models and 4 powerful engine choices. You talk about having a truck that's absolutely perfect for your lifestyle. We got it from hard-working capabilities to anything else you might need, from the Chevy Silverado HD to the powerful LTZ with a premium style and substance to match. Or you can go biggest of all, the Chevy Silverado HD High Country. Boy, it is high country, all right. You talk about a truck that's got everything. Hey, for the best in Florida life that fits everything you need for you, your family, work, and everything else, visit your local South Florida Chevy dealers today or this weekend. Together, get a great deal, by the way, at your South Florida Chevy dealers. Take that test drive. Together, let's drive. Dave Hyde with us this morning, all day, Dan Day, and Jamie. Jamie here on this big 4th of July weekend, a chance for Jamie to work on his personal life a little bit and get rolling. Also doing some great stuff with the Marlins right now as well, and who continue until yesterday. But hey, man, it's not about sweeps. It's about, what did Jack McCann, when he took over, didn't Jack say, just take 2 out of 3? He used to say, was he the one that used to say, hey, man, we got to get back in this thing. We just got to win every series.
He's May 20th. He took over the worst record in baseball, and they won the World Series.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So
I started believing in that, going to church every day after he did that. That was incredible.
With a cigar in his mouth.
I laugh about that story. I have a vision since you said that. Took it out before and picked it up when he got out.
He told me once he did that every day on the road. Went to Cincinnati once and put a cigar without missing a step in stride, just walks in the church, sets it on a ledge. He came out at one there. He looked across the street, and there was a bum smoking a cigar. Jack was full of stories.
One of my favorite guys.
Yeah, he was fun.
One of my favorite guys for sure. Man, I just enjoyed being around him. He did some crazy things that I don't know if we've ever seen in World Series. When he got deep in those playoffs, he started starting pitchers, were relief pitchers and setup guys.
Yeah, it was a big controversy.
How about that?
But how about
he got blasted pretty good for, like, why are you going? You got a game to spare. Why would you not save Josh for Game 7 if you need it? And he goes, because we want to finish it in 6. Josh, you ready to go? And Josh, probably you don't talk enough about how good Josh Beckett was. But that game put him at a different level. That closeout game that he pitched.
He just didn't have the longevity of a career to be recognized for greatness. But he had moments where he was the best pitcher in baseball.
And he had some to him.
Yeah.
He had that makeup. Yeah. And he could rub some people the wrong way.
Well, that's part of it. But Jack, the interesting thing, he only talked to maybe half the guys in the clubhouse, half his team. Other guys, he just and a lot of the stars, Mike Lowell, Derek Lee. And I said, Jack, why? He goes, what am I going to tell Mike Lowell? What am I going to tell? You know who I talked to? I talked to Brad Penny and Josh Beck and AJ. Those guys, they need someone on them. Mike Lowell, he's a pro.
It's
a very interesting way to manage.
Yeah. You get Mike Lowell on your team. You're right. There's some guys you just as stable and as consistent as, you could ever want. Hey, so the other story we've been flirting with here the last few days, waiting for Big Bob. No surprise. I think it kind of leaked out. He's going to Toronto. 3-year, $21 million. I wanted to ask you, because we had heard numbers that were a lot different down here. How you
we heard what he was asking down here. 3 years, 42, making the highest paid goalie. And inside the Panthers, they're like, he ain't going to get that around. Nobody's going to pay him that. We're not going to pay him that. So at what point, and I don't have the answer here, I'm asking, at what point did he come off those numbers, and did the Panthers still not want him? Because they're paying Jacob Markstrom $6 million a year. For the next 2 years, they're paying $6 million a year. Bob got 3 years at $7 million. So for $1 million more, basically, a year.
Yeah.
Now, he didn't have a good year last year. He's 38. Maybe inside the Panthers, they said, unless we get
we're not going to sit here and just blame the guys in front of you for being injured, that you didn't play.
I mean, his backup had slightly better numbers last year, slightly, but basically similar numbers. So, maybe they said we're moving on.
Yeah.
Unless we get a really good contract. Anyways, it's a gamble by Toronto to sign him because they want to contend, and it's a gamble by the Panthers. On the other hand,
Toronto's coming off a bad year.
You got every benefit of the doubt goes to Bill Zito because he's never wrong. He's just never wrong on these things.
So that's the great part of this. And listen, last year Pat Riley started getting heat for the first time. You heard it, you saw it, and people starting to, he's 80 years old. It was his age. It was just age with, hey, Pat, the game's passed you by. He had to hear that. You by the way, defended him as much as anybody. He said, no, I still believe in what he's doing. And people, it's different now, and you got to talk to people differently. Woody hits me with that all the time. Can't talk to him the way he did Jimmy Butler. I loved it, by the way.
Oh, I love to hear it.
Now it's old school.
There's probably a
Shut
measure
up.
of truth that you can't do that, but it was the truth. And it's one of those, the old Jack Nicholson, can you handle the truth?
The biggest thing you can't do, I talk about this all the time, so forgive me, anybody that's heard me say this before. The biggest thing you can't do, and I'm big on it, if you want to shake things up as a leader, but I get it now. You're going to lose some people. You're getting up and you're having some trouble in your company. You call everybody together and you call the pain in the ass or two, the cancer or the guy that's not living up to what he's supposed to, that's stirring it up. You call him out in front of the whole team. That was a Don Shula special. There was no, he would have private meetings, don't get me wrong, because he ever got called in his office, it was never good. It was never good. He never called in to say, hey, you're having a great year. Really happy to have you. I just wanted to remind you, keep up the good work.
Hey, he called me into his office once and it was good news.
Really?
Yeah. After Dorothy's funeral, I wrote a column, called me into his office and he goes, I just wanted to thank you. And there was an awkward pause.
Man, that's nice.
Listen, there was an awkward pause because we didn't know what to say after I said, well, thanks. I'm sorry for your loss. And there was a pause and then he goes, patted me on the butt and he said, good job. Like I was a player. Like I was like, good job. And then I just left.
I just think that was
anyways, go back to your point of
no. So you got called in there. It was tough. Now listen, this is Don Shula, and I don't know if it was like this everywhere, but that was my first job out of college was, Don Shula. Probably was great for me coming out of Berkeley where I was a little bit wild. And after that strict Catholic upbringing, just destroyed it. What did my parents do to me? Hella friggin' Luya. Anyway, so I get there, and so I saw it the first time. I think Daryl Harris is one of the first players he called out in a team meeting in front of everybody. And he called him out. Called him out, stood right up there, and nobody likes to get called out.
Oh, can you imagine?
Hey, Dave. I wasn't a big fan of your article and do that in front of all the other writers at a meeting. It's just right. Hey, if that's the best you can do, maybe we got to look somewhere else.
You either gain the team or lose the team, right?
Well, you can't do that in today's world.
Right.
There's nobody out there that's going in early this morning
and do it
management's telling me they're going, oh, no, I do that all the time. It works.
The only people who can do that, who try to do that, are the Don Shulas and Pat Rileys, who have the career credibility to do it. But it is a different time. I'm not sure Pat can do that anymore.
The Jimmy Butler, shut up. You're not playing. You didn't play.
I loved it.
I loved it too. He goes, and you want a new contract, play more games.
Or how about LeBron? Hey, this is tough. It's tough to build winning teams. It's not easy. Don't take the easy way out.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah, I'm
more
gonna
smiley
run to
faces.
another team. Oh yeah, that was no, man. I just, maybe it's our age because Woody stood in here and Woody was like, that's a mistake. You're gonna lose, and he loves Jimmy. If Woody knew that Jimmy was going to be over there at his coffee shop, he'd run over there with his kids and hang out with them till he left. But yeah, I loved it. I'm with you. I thought it was, but you can't do some of this stuff anymore. You can't, man.
Right, and
you can't. You got to be how you talk to everybody.
Well, look who doesn't.
My wife tells me, hey, you got to talk your voice when you get fired up. They don't realize it doesn't work.
And you know who did that in the Heat? Stan Van Gundy would do that. He'd speak very honestly about players, and he needs to get better. And who doesn't do it is Eric Spoelstra. He's takes the long road of that's not going to help my relationship with the player, and I'm trying to develop this player. And he needs to work on something, but we'll work on it privately.
I would love, because Riley's done some stuff like Spo's got it in the offseason. In those talks, he's called out Spo in a roundabout way by saying Spo's got to do a better job and make it work. Those two need to play. Spo's got to do a better job with that. And I'm thinking, you got one of the best coaches in the NBA, and you just called him out. But I think Spo, because of the road and what he's done for him, he knows he can take it. Is there a chance that's the case?
I think that is the truth. The other thing is he isn't doing it, like especially with Spo, from a position of condemnation. It's just a conversation. It's just, hey, he needs to work on this. Everybody needs to work on something.
But you get the hint that like Spo's like, hey,
But maybe
Spo's got to play.
I don't know.
Khalil Ware. Those guys got to play together. We need more Bam and Khalil. They,
that was a. He did say that, but you know what? I understand what Spo was when he's. Khalil Ware would come in there for 5 minutes and make 4 errors and just look like it. What's he supposed to do? Keep playing him?
His guy would beat him down the court for a
team?
dunk. Yeah.
No, he's okay. He's okay. Just let him play through 20 minutes of bad basketball.
Well, I just think you keep that stuff private. And you put a guy at the end of the bench. We can see he played 10 minutes tonight. We saw him make a few mistakes. We saw maybe not the hustle. His guy beats him down the court and dunks the ball, and he's jogging. And Spo's taking out of the game. He's had a couple centers. He's done that too.
And other nights he's dominant.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, that's the guy you need to get to. But anyways, it's Milwaukee's problems now.
But it is a lot different now in the old world, and it's not just it's at home and it's in sports. And they,
sports is a reflection of who we are, I think.
Did you get spanked as a kid?
I did like once or twice, but it wasn't a regular thing.
I was a knucklehead.
You got spanked a lot.
I did.
Well, but I mean that's also how your parents raised you. I mean,
right.
That's the standard for.
I don't remember any outsiders. I just remember the principal and nun, and mom and dad were the only ones.
They spank you?
Well, they hit you, man.
Oh, with the ruler on the wrist or the hand?
It was a stinger. It wasn't like, it would put you out of action. It was just, they come up behind you. It was tough group. Is
that Old Testament teaching? I don't even know where that is.
I don't know if the nuns are still around. I'm not trying to, I haven't. I think the last nuns, I was at St. Thomas Aquinas, and something with my kids was over there. And
I saw nuns at the San Antonio Spurs basketball game.
Okay.
Yeah, they came and rooted on the Spurs.
Yeah. Get an advantage any way you can with those powerful prayers. Hey, we got to go to break here on a Thursday. Got a lot of stuff to get to. I do want to take a second to talk about a man that's very, very important in our community. His name's Dr. Barry. He is overseeing Recovery Unplugged with great people, a great staff. It's about helping all of us. Anybody out there, Recovery Unplugged is about you going through depression, anxiety, find yourself off the road and having trouble getting back. Something's happened in your life, loss of job, loss of family, divorces, things happen, man. And sometimes you just can't get back on the road by yourself. You need some help. And boy, do they have a great program they put together in Fort Lauderdale. Mental health residential program in Fort Lauderdale is a private, comfortable space to heal. It really is, with music-based care that hits the right note. They accept most major insurance plans. Call 954-737-4508 or visit recoveryunplug.com. If you're going through it right now, well, I tell you what, Dr. Barry's been through it himself. He's got a great staff, and they can help you, man. They can help you. So if you have somebody going through it right now that you care about, hey, man, make sure they check out Recovery Unplugged. Go to recoveryunplug.com. This summer, heal out loud. And welcome back, and good morning to everybody. I got to take a second in the way of celebration of life and talk about somebody that's been in my life for a long time, and he passed away, Father Kelly, at St. Thomas Aquinas, where my children went to school, and also over at Cardinal Gibbons area, and to everybody. I know he's impacted a lot of lives through sports. Always loved priests that are crazy about sports, and Father Kelly was a special guy for a long, long time. Used to see him at all the football games and everything else, and just a wonderful guy, and just a real positive. And the impact he's had on so many families has passed away. So we're gonna miss him, and we call him the priest of national championships for high school with George Smith, who been with him, was with Father Kelly for a long, long time, and all the great stuff he did with all the students and everything else. So just wanted to get that out this morning for anybody that remembered the famous Father Kelly. Man, he's great. Now I only got Father Ed over there, man, in Bonaventure. We got to keep Father Ed rolling, keep him young, keep him going. I love those Irish priests, man. I love the old Irish priests. I mean, priests are all good, but love the old Irish priests because grew up with those. Come over and have a drink with you at the house with mom and dad on a Sunday after masses were over.
I love the Catholic parties. My friends who are Catholics, so it'd always be.
Oh, they get after.
Yeah, they would.
Oh no, that room. Yeah, I didn't know you could do that. The room next to the church, they had this room for special parties, and they get after with the hard liquor pretty good. Yeah, that was.
And the Catholic weddings, they just took forever as a kid. I remember, but the parties afterwards were a lot of fun.
Yeah. Those Catholic weddings can.
Do they still take a long time? I gotta admit, I haven't been to one.
I used one of them, one of my marriages. Yeah, we did one of those. They're long. It was. He did. I did. That awkward moment. Dave, you keep asking questions, you're gonna get me in trouble, man.
I'm leading you down wrong
instead of just stop.
I gotta be better. I gotta be better at.
You're better than that, Joe. Come on, man. Stop it. What are you doing? Hey, yeah, I asked this at 6 o'clock hour, and we're getting up, man. It's just another teaser, but we got the Giannis deal done. Man, everybody's back on this thing that LeBron's visiting Golden State because he's tight with Steph and all some of those guys on the team, and now we got everybody. Oh, it'd be so cool to have those guys put the old team together and see what they can do for 1 year. And meanwhile, I'm hearing LeBron, well, he doesn't want to play on the cheap. I mean, you got to pay him something, but he wants to go where he can golf and he can be happy.
He can golf here, Joe.
We got a lot of golf courses. LeBron will be allowed on every golf course.
He's a golfer now. You mentioned that. I was surprised. I didn't know.
We'll get him up at Adios if he wants to go up there super private. You can play a round of golf in like an hour and 10 minutes. That's, or go out to, there's
a lot of nice golf courses around here.
Oh my God, Dayton Broward. And I'm guessing LeBron would have no problem walking up, even if they said super private, and he said, yeah, and I'm a super player and I get out of the way so I can go play. Nobody's going to tell him no.
I know Michael Jordan took over a golf course years ago on Miami Beach. Him and Lawrence Taylor played it. They were the only ones on the course. So maybe
those are legendary high stakes games. Yeah, they played one day and they still talk about it at Grand Oaks. Those two got out there. I don't remember exactly idea who was with them to watch this whole thing. And they paid off after. And it was a lot of money. Somebody got beat pretty good in that game. And both very well known for, like, we don't want to just play for fun. Let's play. And I get a certain amount of shots from you or, whatever, according to handicaps and all that stuff. But yeah, those are.
When I played golf and if we had a $5 bet, my knees would be shaking on the green. Yeah. I remember I played in a pro-am with Don Shula and Jeb Bush, and there was crowds. And, crowds to me is a couple dozen people. And I was so nervous on the first tee. Yeah. Like, and these people are taking their life in their hands by just standing there because who knows where this ball's
going. All had, it was kind of mandatory. You had to play in Shula's golf tournament. That was kind of
it.
Deal.
That's where it was. Yeah.
And we were going out there one day, and it was one of the first times I went out there to play. And I was just getting into golf. Don Strock got us all into golf. We all kind of started the same time and out there. And you know who Don Shula's one of his best friends was, right? That lived out there with him, Ray Floyd.
Oh, right. Yeah, sure.
And I think the Wise are really good friends.
Ray Floyd's wife,
he
Maria,
introduced him to Coach Shula's wife. Yeah. And I'm looking like, are you kidding me, bro? You even got to win your own tournament. That's all I can think.
He was very competitive. He would, in fact,
he's like, wait a sec.
He put Ray Floyd on his team, is what you're saying.
Time.
Yeah, so he'd win.
And so everybody's playing, and Ray's out there, and Ray used to go to a lot of our games and stuff, and so we saw him. He was around a lot, and I was like, wow, do you have to? Is it that important?
It was, yeah.
So Shoes had hit a bad shot, and Ray goes, don't worry, I'm going to hit it 265 down the middle back then. Maybe, whatever. Ray would hit it back in the old days when they didn't hit it like they do today. But, man, that was crazy. That was crazy time. Hey, so LeBron, Bam, and Giannis still in play. And I got to tell you, man, this is great. By the way, it's great for free agency because everybody, I'm guessing a lot of teams are trying to make a run at him. Right,
and it's
the Lakers have been,
and it's not money. It's not money. He's going to play. It's out.
He's not getting a max.
$6 million a year. I mean,
he's got to get more than that.
That's what's coming out. I'm surprised too.
I'm not going to be part of a big three for $6 million a year.
I'm not.
And I know he's got a ton of money.
Being what the national basketball writers are saying, and what Golden State's offering, what the Heat are offering, so unless something changes, but. What do you think? What do you think of the Heat's chances here? We talked about this yesterday. I want to know if it has the meter moved up or down.
A little bit.
A little up.
Well, I'm only going by all the insiders watching. And listen, NBA's ESPN does a nice job with their NBA coverage every day and hitting it hard with these shows. And those guys going, hey, Miami's in play, and everybody's going back to his agent saying, Giannis and Bam together. He's very aware of what those two can do. And is he thinking, okay, Wiggins is a nice player, went a lot in Golden State. Bobby Portis has been around. Timmy Hardaway Jr. He's looking, going,
we got some old guys here, too, if that's why he wants to Golden State, right?
We went from really young with all those number one picks, 6 number one picks a year ago, and now this thing's got, let's win now.
Let's do it.
Let's try to do it right now. So Philly also, of course, if you're just joining us, Jaylen Brown on his way to the 76ers for Paul George and some first-round picks and some second-round picks, and we'll see. I give up Paul George every day of the week. You take Paul George. You don't want
Paul George is involved in two of the oddest trades when you look back on him. He went from Oklahoma City to the Clippers. And
the
SGA
MVP
was he was like a side dish in that deal.
He was a side dish, not a very good one compared to the MVP the last couple of years.
Yeah, and then
how did the Clippers not have?
How did they not know?
Have vision of what you had? And meanwhile, that GM in Oklahoma City he's good.
Is that Sam Presti? He's
that guy. Remember the old days, and I'm guilty of saying this. Nobody wants to play in Oklahoma City. Nobody wants to play in Sacramento. There are certain markets.
I don't think anybody does, but they get drafted to play there, and now they're happy to play there because they're winning, right?
Winning takes care of a lot, right? And they want the money with it too. But so that one is crazy. But I don't know, man.
What is Boston doing? That's what I can't figure out. What?
I don't get that. I don't get Jaylen Brown for Paul George. And I know all the other ones, and everybody's going to bring up draft picks in the future. The future right now for Philly and for Boston is right now. And there better be something really wrong with Jaylen Brown to give up when you have Tatum and Brown, arguably the best 1-2 punch in the East. Why do you break them up unless things are so bad?
That's what they had to. It had to be so toxic inside that it was untenable anymore. And Brad Stevens says we got to trade him to Philadelphia, a rival, for so little.
It's got to be more than just his comments that he made about this has been the most rewarding year for me because I got to be the number one guy and we won 57 games in the regular season. And mean, right? Because he won.
No, there had to be something behind the scenes.
There had to be something
him and
more
Tatum,
than,
or him.
that didn't even offend me. I know it offended a lot of people, and it's like, okay, I get what he's saying. Maybe he should have mentioned Tatum, and I wish we would have had him, for the whole thing. All right, so he left him out. It's not the first time that's happened where, and hey, you get stars. They're very competitive with each other about who's the man. Who's the man? I saw a little bit of it with Dupe and Clay. I did. You remember?
Yeah, they're arguing for the
ball.
The ball, right? Well, you saw it, how difficult it was, and it worked for LeBron and D Wade when they were down here at the start. Both of them are used to being the number one guy.
Yes, they were.
And
hey, Chris Bosh was used to being the number one guy from Toronto,
and they had to work it out. It isn't something Spoelstra could do or Riley could tell them, okay, no, they had to work it out amongst themselves so it would work. And eventually Wade took a step back as Bosh took 2 steps back, and they won titles.
Yeah, no, they got it figured out and what everybody's role was. But yeah, man, it's a crazy one. Hey, we got to go to break. 7:00 hours coming up. Baptist Health, South Florida. Good news, bad news. The good news is you're competitive and you love playing sports, team and individual sports. You're active. Your kids are active, but you know what happens sooner or later, because we do compete and physically get after. We get injured, and that's why it sure is nice to have Baptist Health South Florida Sports Medicine Program. They have put together a first-class group of doctors, specialists, team doctors, great facilities. It really is the total package. And you got to have specialists when you do this and you decide you want to go all in on a top sports medicine program. You better make sure you have them for every part of the body. Anything to do with the knee. We got 4 or 5 of the best knee doctors in the country. I'm talking about fixing everything to an ACL, MCL, fully blown. It doesn't matter. We got doctors that can take care of it. Shoulder, foot and ankle specialist, hand specialist, back, hip and knee replacement doctors. We've even got doctors with this Achilles problem. Nobody stretches their Achilles. They're popping the Achilles right and left right now. Inter Miami, the Heat, the Florida Panthers, Miami Dolphins all trust the great doctors because that's what they use at Baptist Health South Florida. So our teams are using them. Our universities like FIU and FAU are using them. And with great facilities in Dade and Broward County, Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables, Hard Rock Stadium, next to the training facility in 595 and Pine Island in Plantation. All you have to do is visit baptisthealth.net/ortho. One goal every day. It's about getting you back out playing the sports you love the most.
In Miami, you go to the beach for a little solcito, and when we want a low price, you save with your Pricito. Save now with your Pricito at Doral Hyundai. The World Football Scoreboard is brought to you by your local Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks is truly unmatched for every match with 29-degree drafts of Michelob Ultra, spicy margaritas with Casamigos, and unrivaled views all tournament. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views. The USA men's team defeated Bosnia and Herzegovina 2-0. They'll face Belgium, who actually won 3-2 over Senegal yesterday. England down the Democratic Republic of Congo 2-1. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roofs, roof repairs, maintenance, and hurricane impact windows and doors. Visit tornadoroofing.com. Temperatures through the day going to be in the high 80s, but there's going to be a chance of rain all the way throughout. I am Dan Day. Now back to the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
All right. Welcome back here for the 7 o'clock hour. Joe Rose with you along with Dave Hyde, All Day Dan Day, and Jamie. Somebody just texted in like, leave Jamie alone. You shouldn't be in people's personal life. Not everybody likes that. Sometimes you go too far. I always go too far.
That's what makes it fun, right, Joe?
I mean, come on.
Jamie opened his life up to us, right? I mean, that was probably his first mistake. He'll learn.
He's not going to change.
I'm okay with it. It is what it is. Like, we have fun with it. Not a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a good sport. I mean, you got a great outlook on life, Jamie, besides being great at social media stuff. My God, he gets into cracks of social media I didn't even know you could get into. I got relatives going, somehow I got in this thing, got in my Facebook. I go, what? Jamie, how'd you do that?
Got to pump you up, Joe. Got to do it.
Well, somebody's got to do it. That wife's got that sign up at the front door, leave your ego at the door. God, that hurts when she put, I don't know where she found that sign. Leave your ego at the door. Me, 100%. There's only two of us. It wasn't two of us. Leave your ego at the door. You're back home. Oh, man, that hurt. God, that hurt. Yeah. How do you do that to somebody, man? You can't do that. Well, the Marlins last night, they lose. Now, we haven't been saying that a lot. We end up going, 20-6 in June? Does that sound right? Jeez.
July, they lose the first game in July.
I would have bet last night they're going to win because Max Meyer was pitching and ends up getting the loss. First one of the season, 9-1, screaming, hello, all-star game.
They stay on the road, though, for
3 more.
3 more.
3 more, and then on their way home. And a matter of fact, speaking of that, we're going to be giving some tickets away. So
what do you think they need? They got to be in the market for a trade,
I don't
Joe.
know.
They need a little more hitting, a little more.
So let me just say this. The owner opened his mouth about if we're in it, you're going to see.
Well, he said that the last couple of years. He has.
Well, but this is a little different right now. Now listen, what are they 5 games over 500? Right there in the listen, National League struggling. The wild card teams are all struggling. Hell, the National League East, the Braves have come back. It's nothing's crazy with the crazy payrolls of Philadelphia. I mean, they're only a couple games. They're not that far behind the Flyers, behind Philadelphia right now. So anyway, we'll see what happens going down the road here. But nice story, man. Nice story. Then they'll be coming home and for 6 games, and we got tickets giveaway today actually for one of those games. So stay with us for that. If you like freebie tickets, we like to give them to you. We're going to be zoning in though with free agency on this LeBron thing, and I don't know how long he's going to take, but I would love that 20.9 points per game, 7 assists and 6 rebounds.
He's got to be the next couple of days, doesn't it? He can't take this out till a couple more weeks. This is sooner rather than later.
I would think he doesn't want everybody in to be this, somebody called me last night. It's so true. Every city, if you're a fan of, you're like, well, it only makes sense. He's got to come to ours. And where are you from? I'm Cleveland. Oh, okay. So he should go to Cleveland. And we're sitting here in Miami going, man, come on, LeBron. Everything was great here. You loved it down here. You had 4 great years. Come on. When was the last time you went to 4 straight championships? Come on. And look what you have. And they're good guys and easy guys to play with. I know Bam is. I don't know if Giannis is. But LeBron, Bam, and Giannis sure sounds good.
What's going to be his decision? What's he going to base it on? The question, is it winning? Is it where I'm going to be comfortable? Was it close to his family on the West Coast?
His agent is making sure. Dave, I'm not buying that $6 million a year. I don't buy LeBron. I don't buy he's going to play for $6 million.
I'm just saying what's being reported. I was shocked.
I'm not saying he wants
it.
50, and he doesn't need 50 anymore. He makes a lot more money off the court than he does on the court. I think, and we got more than one. He's joined the $1 billion club.
Would you?
A long time
would
ago.
you ship Wiggins to L.A. for LeBron? Actually, it doesn't work that way. Now LeBron's a free agent.
Right.
That was a conversation before.
I want to keep Wiggins.
I'm saying to clear up salary if LeBron's, you need to do that.
Yeah. I'd like to keep Wiggins. But if LeBron says, hey, if I get enough money, but I need more than 6, you're going to have to do something with somebody else.
Yeah, you'd probably get something else in return. But the
idea
would be to clear up money to if LeBron's saying, $15 million or something.
And I get he doesn't need the money. But ego does want. There's no guy that's going to be part of a big 3 that's going to play for $6 million when the other 2 guys are.
I wouldn't think so. I'm with you. I'm a little surprised that this is being reported, but it has to be coming from somewhere. And you think LeBron's camp would put the brakes on that if this wasn't true?
I think they've tried to say, hey, money's still going to be important, but he wants to be happy, and that's going to be, which tells me he's not. He knows
what makes him happy: winning or playing with friends, or
his days of max contracts are gone. I think he's adjusted his ego to what he can and can't do. His body has talked to him, and he understands it. What you can and can't do. Still amazing player on things he did. We saw him in those playoffs. That's my last memory. He was unbelievable against Houston in that series. Forget Oklahoma City. That was a different animal playing without part of his snow time team that he has out there.
When he had to lead the team, he led the team. It just wasn't a good enough team. I mean.
So let me ask you about the Lakers. Lakers are very white, but Walker, Kessler, Luka, Austin Reeves. That's their big 3.
I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that. You're right.
Now, hold on a second.
No.
Everybody in the NBA, wait.
That's why Stephen A. Smith called it snow time.
Yeah, snow time.
That's funny.
So, it's the first it's been a long time, I'm guessing, since the NBA's had a big 3. I know we had Parrish and we had Bird and McHale and Parrish, 2 out of 3.
The Lakers aren't going to challenge for anything, though. First of all, there's 2 giants in the West, and with that 3, no chance.
Yeah, there ain't going to be a lot of D out there in that group either. There won't be a lot of D. So I'm not bothered by that, by the way. Let me just say this. I laughed when I heard the comments, and I saw everybody was offended, and I know you got to be careful with the white and black stuff in sports and what you say and stuff, but whoever came up with Snow Time Lakers and they're coming up with all these things. I laughed, but I saw Snow Time instead of Showtime. Snow Time. I saw you this morning. I said that Snow Time thing. I was dying laughing. I'm not offended.
And it'll get funnier if they keep if they don't win tight. Remember,
well, right now you got to be careful what you're saying out here, as you know.
You could lose your job real quick. I already lost my job, so I don't have any job to lose.
Dave. Good point. I'm probably close myself there. Yeah, probably in that same boat. But boy, I'll tell you what, this LeBron deal, it's just and those guys. Well, we're looking now. They don't know. They have no idea. I guess he's meeting with Golden State because I talked to my guys out there. LeBron's going to be meeting with Golden State, and Golden State. Cleveland and Miami's names keep popping up the most. Just give me that's 33% right there. Just give me that 33 points.
What does he want? That's what we don't know.
He said, well, he wants to win.
Okay, so when you say win,
he wants to have a chance.
Do you want to be the
win
winner, or do you want to be on a winning team? I mean, that's the question, because you're not going to be the winner.
Well, the Lakers won a lot of games last year. They did win a lot of games.
No, they were a good team.
Just problem is 2 of his guys were. Not that they were going to go much deeper anyway with those guys, but you have the other 2 guys that got big contracts were injured. So
here's the other thing on the they'll make it work because they're smart players. But you have Jimmy, you have Curry, you have LeBron. All of them want the ball.
Jimmy doesn't want the ball.
Jimmy wants the ball. Yeah, he wants the ball.
I don't think
he'd hold the ball. He had to have the ball, and then he dribbles and then might pass it, but no,
Jimmy's
he
got
has the ball.
night, but Dave, Jimmy's got nights even with Golden State when somebody went down and they start getting on him for the same things we did. He go 4 of like 10, take 10 shots, and Steph Curry's out of the game. Like, Jimmy, let's kind of look around the room here. I don't know. To me, you look like the second option. Maybe you need to take more than 7, 8, 9, 10 shots.
Okay, he had his nights where he wasn't all there. I mean, we know that, right? Where he
decides he's going to pass,
yes,
and I'm playing the game the right way, and I'm throwing it to the 7th man on the team.
But I'm talking to playoffs when everybody's trying to win.
He put up. Listen, man,
he put up big numbers.
He put up some big numbers.
They're all smart players that have figured out how to win, but
he's not going to be back, by the way, for a while. He's going to miss a good half of this season. So, I hope they trade him. I was hoping he'd get thrown in some trade to Washington or something. It was going to make my day to watch him. Because see how that attitude is. Why you're getting that extra year, that money he wanted so desperately to be able to get that somewhere else. Don't worry. He's at right now, he's at a World Cup game somewhere. I don't know where, but he's somewhere.
Probably here. He's dressing up as Messi. For the next game, right?
No,
Friday
definitely.
night.
Oh, he can be
That'll
a big
be the one.
He'll be a big Argentina fan tomorrow night with the Messi man here.
Well, he's dressed up as Colombia and as a Colombian Brazilian fan, I think, so far.
The only thing left is little Argentina.
Right.
Get that going. So anyway, we got to go to break. We've got all kinds of stuff. You're with me on this LeBron deal, though, huh? That'd be fun. I hope Heat fans are complaining, especially the little fan base of Heat fans who were complaining about, we gave up too much, man. We gave up too much. That playing I liked it because I like those guys. No. I'll tell you what, this thing, just write it down today. When you get a chance, just a little project for you today. Just write down LeBron, Bam, Giannis, Hardaway, Wiggins, Portis, Davion Mitchell. Throw in a little Pella Larson there and tell me what you think.
I think you contend in the East.
I gave you 8 or 9 in there.
Fontecchio's there's like 5 or 6 teams think they contend in the East.
I'm guessing you keep Jovic, even though he's making way too much money for what he does. But
nobody's going to take him, right?
No.
I mean, for that contract right now.
Upside.
Coming off the season he had.
How do you get a guy that is just not very mature? And how do you get physically? He's obviously got a lot of talent. How do you develop the neck up? Because the things I've seen, usually those guys don't figure it out.
You talk to them, right, and hope it clicks in. And you
Slo's last message: take responsibility for yourself,
and look at.
Don't throw Duncan Robinson, your
work.
conversation with Duncan Robinson in it.
Bam going to work out 4 times a day. Those are the type of guys you hope it rubs off on them, right?
Yeah. Well, 4-year, $62 million contract. Holy smokes, that's a lot of money. All right, hey, we got to go to break here. We got a lot of stuff here on a Thursday to get to. A lot of news. Big Bob's got a new home. We'll tell you more about that as well. Big Bob is gone. Gosh darn it. Hurricane season is here. Time to call Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing. Their windows, Hurricane Category 5 rated. Loctite Impact provides 100% financing with 0 down, no interest, no payments for 1 year. That should help you out if you weren't sure if you wanted to do it right now or not. Man, protect your home. You never know. I know right now we're just getting rain and a lot of heat here, but hey, man, you know the threat of a hurricane is always coming to South Florida during hurricane season. Man, go get out there and get it done. Call Loctite. If you got an old leaky roof, replace your old roof now. You can pay later. Plus, they have 24/7 roof repairs, part of their company now as well. They'll come up and patch it up for you and get you through this hurricane season. Hey, the best part of this whole thing, Impact Windows as low as $6 per month per window installed. Don't wait for the next storm. Get the deal of a lifetime today. Keep your home protected, the most important thing. Covering all of South Florida, Loctite Impact is the name you need to always remember. Loctite's going to be there for you, 954-500-LOCK. That's 954-500-LOCK. They got a great staff to answer all your questions. LoctiteImpact.com. Check them out today. Hey, and we're back. Thank you. Had to get a coffee in there. Apologize. My boy back there all day, Dandy, was a little. We were sprinting back there, man. We saw you. That Dunkin' Donut coffee here.
I really need to be over caffeinated this time. This is the fourth day. I don't know how you do it day after day after day. That's why you're the champion.
No. Everybody out there that's used to getting up early, it never changes. Even when you go on vacation, you get up early. You go in the other room, you go in your office for a couple hours till the rest of the house wakes up.
Well, I can get up early. I just need to be caffeinated to stay
Oh, you
up
do?
Early. Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So we were talking about Big Bob goes to Toronto, as we thought he'd go to Edmonton or Toronto, ends up going to Toronto, 3-year, $21 million. So Big Bob, who had nothing but great things. Any guy can make that kind of comeback. He gets the big contract. I mean, he was on a roller coaster here. He got here, and it wasn't very good. And I think most of us remember him at Tampa Bay in street clothes during the playoffs as a third goalie who doesn't suit up. And then what happened for 3 years where he had games where he was standing on his head, man. He was just making great save after great save, and he was tremendous.
A lot of people should be happy that Bill Zito hired Paul Maurice to bring in his system, and Bobrovsky's at the top of the list because his game suddenly could trust the defense, and his game blossomed back to what he was in Columbus.
I think he got his confidence back. Yeah. I think no matter who you are, man, if you're not having success, you can lose your confidence. You just can. You know, and we can say, well, the guys in front of him aren't doing a good job. Well, that's part of it. I get it. But
this is an odd move, isn't it? I mean, you have the guy who won the goalie, won the Stanley Cup with you for 2 times. He's 38 now. What do you do with him? He had a bad year. Is he going? Was it a lot of people had off years for the Panthers because of injuries, then other reasons.
Yeah.
But they I don't know if they just initially they were put off by the contract he was demanding, and then maybe they also said, you know what, he's not what he was. And so
I think it's a combination of both. I think you just hit the combination. They look at analytics. They look at numbers. They got numbers on everything. They're looking at age. Hey, man, very few guys, and I know athletes are taking better and better care of themselves in every sport. Hell, we're seeing that. We're seeing what Messi's doing. I'm watching Messi one night at 39, Djokovic at 39, beating up guys at Wimbledon. We have some amazing guys, but Father Time, when you get to 40, starts winning a lot more. 40, the age of 40 starts winning a lot more in sports. Tom Brady.
It's kind of strange, though, because they brought in Markstrom, who is basically the same price and the same age.
What is he, 36?
Yeah,
he's 36.
He's 36, and he's getting $6 million a year, and Bobrovsky's getting $7 million a year in Toronto.
Who'd you rather have, Jamie?
I mean, I'd rather have Bobrovsky because of what he's done here. But
there's a danger in sports, though. You pay and look at somebody for what they've done, and the question is, okay, what's he going to do now? But I see there's a track record with Bobrovsky to trust. But they swapped out their whole,
Big Bob could have been here,
had
though.
The similar numbers last year.
If Big Bob plays for the right amount of money that they wanted to give him, he would have been here. He'd have been your starting goalie.
I absolutely believe that.
And I think it might have something to do with the third year as well. Like Toronto giving him a 3-year deal. I don't think Florida wanted to give him that many years. Probably played into it as well. Because they got Markstrom on, I think, a 1-year deal, and then they have flexibility to move off him or maybe restructure the deal after one season.
No, they have 2 years, $12 million with Markstrom.
Okay,
but it was, to your point, it's less than it was with Bobrovsky. But I don't think in the end that Bobrovsky came off his big ask because he saw he wasn't going to get it, which is what the Panthers were trying to tell him in the last couple months. Nobody's going to pay you that.
Can I just give you one other little thing from our standpoint, from the media side? It's going to be a little different game to game now.
Yes.
He's going to get critiqued a lot more. We don't even have writers that go. Some nights we don't have writers go out there. We don't have enough print media guys.
There's not a beat writer. There's not a daily beat writer on any of the papers for the Panthers. Now there are, internet.
Meanwhile, you think Toronto's got more than one? Of course. They got podcasts. I'd watch those podcasts after those games that come out instantly.
They're covered like the Dolphins are covered here.
So everything you do that you might get away with here, bad position, bad goal, all those things. Now he's going to have to deal with.
If he plays like he played in year one in Florida, in Toronto, he's going to get chewed up by that Toronto media.
Absolutely.
Who did we just see left Toronto, got out of there and went to, was he with
Mitch Marner?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
With Vegas? Was he with Vegas?
He had a nice year in Vegas. And but
look at that. He got out of there. Proved he can play in the playoffs and put up big numbers, not just in the regular season.
The first couple of games, and
then he disappeared.
Well, at least it was a late. Toronto goes, we would have taken that if you'd have gotten us that deep, and then disappeared.
But it's not just the media. I mean, the fan base.
They're knowledgeable.
Fuels the media. I mean, that's why there's the media, is because the fans are. Look, there's a number. You talk to Panthers players, the majority. What team do you follow? Oh, I was a Maple Leaf fan. Most of them were, because in that.
I'm going to throw something else I used to do on radio all the time. It's great to get big money and go to a big market, but not everybody can play in New York for the Yankees. How many guys have we seen go play for the Yankees and fall apart? First of all, get off to a slow start. Second of all, used to be able to get up in Miami and read the newspaper and barely talking about your team, and nobody's really noticing that you're 2 for your last 25. You get there, every at bat with runners in scoring position. When you lose, you got to hear about it. On talk show, everywhere. Newspapers, the back of the newspaper's got a big picture of you on there. That ain't, not everybody can do it.
You're right. And just to further the comparison to Dolphin coverage, imagine like Jonah Savanaia is a conversation piece here. Whereas in a small, for a small football market, it wouldn't be, but and that's what it'll be like in Toronto. The sixth defenseman is a conversation piece.
Those numbers are great. Give grades instantly now after games that all our media guys use down here. Especially in football.
Pro Football
to
Focus.
Let us know, Pro Football Focus destroyed Savaianaya.
Yeah.
Destroyed him. He was destroyed. The worst guard in football. Can't do any worse than that. Worst guard in football, breaking down his blocking, run blocking, pass blocking, how many times he gets beat.
So you have to shut that out as a player. And
can you imagine that up there in that New York market if you're him?
Yeah. And how will Bobrovsky handle that? He's a vet. He's 38, so he's been through it. I don't care
who you are. He's been in Columbus and he's been in Florida. He has not
that's a
been
good point. Yeah.
in Toronto or New York. Not for everybody, man. It's not.
Tim Reynolds, the AP writer, made a good point. He's won 5 playoff games in Toronto the last few years. That's more than any goalie in the league. So he's going a place where even the Toronto goalies. So that's maybe he's comfortable there.
All right, maybe you're right.
Toronto now has the Panthers' old duo because they have Stolars too.
That's right.
So they have the 2023 Panthers starter and backup now in Toronto.
All right. Well, it is going to be interesting. I tell you, the other story came out yesterday. The East looks to be a little bit stronger. You agree? In basketball.
In basketball. Absolutely. I mean, you could
first of all, Toronto, if Kawhi stays healthy, Toronto's going to have a good team. You agree?
Yeah, absolutely. They're saying we could win the East.
Jaylen Brown, once he fits in, if he can, unless we find out nobody likes him or something, Jaylen Brown with that group, no matter what Joel Embiid does, they should have a good team. That should be a really good team.
Philly could be in the conversation for LeBron now that they got Jaylen Brown?
They think they're in the conversation, but
everybody thinks they're in the conversation. The only ones that know, Lakers, I probably think the Sacramento Kings are probably leaving it alone too. And Milwaukee.
There has to be some connection for LeBron to go to a team though. Why Philadelphia would be just random? What do you do? What's his connection to Philadelphia?
Yeah.
I mean, the 3 teams people are talking about: Golden State, Golden State with his friends, and it's on the West Coast. Cleveland and the Heat. There's a connect. You understand? Okay, what would be about if he goes
there? You go again. Yeah, boy. I'll tell you what. You are really playing up our crowd today, man. You for a few days.
Well, you gave him a 20% chance.
I did because they keep doing it. I'm with you, but damn, I just feel like
Rich Paul, his agent, said
I know
a lot of people want to play with Bam and Giannis.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just reading the tea leaves.
I think a lot of guys love playing with Bam. I think the guys that played
Great
on those
teammate.
Olympic teammate that do all the dirty work. He's going to throw you the ball if you're open. He's not. I think he's easy to play with. People love playing with Bam Adebayo. You agree?
Absolutely. He's
Yeah.
a great guy. I mean, he's a
I know, like
legitimately
everything he
good
stands
guy.
for.
you
Goes
know?
to Chapman Partnership on his time off. Goes down to the homeless thing and like donates money and hangs out down there. The stories that come out, what he's done in our community, because nobody wants to hear about that here on these shows. But I mean, he's on the all give back team here.
But that
in South
shows
Florida.
you what his personality.
Exactly.
Okay, inside, and then he's working 4 times a day in the off season. So he's.
Oh, you don't have to worry about it.
I mean, he's a guy.
But
There's a reason that he wanted to keep Bam beyond that. He was their best player. It's who he is inside the team.
And you know the other part of this, and people go, "Oh, you guys make too much. He's not that good. He averages 19 or 20 points, and that's it." And I go, "Well, all I know is every time they have a world team or Olympic team, Bam's on that team every time. They want him. Those guys want him and understand how good he is."
I never understood the criticism that he's not good enough. Well, he's the best player, but he's not good enough. Well, the problem then isn't him. It's the team has to get a better player, right? They have to get somebody, and they went out and they got Giannis. Now, Giannis is a better player. So now you're getting the
He
proper
can fit
1,
in
2,
his role. Yes.
Partnership there.
Because last year we need him to be. Get frustrated with it. Maybe you don't, Dave. He's got nights where he takes 8 or 9 shots too. And I'm like, damn, no. Be selfish.
Well, he's had to develop his offensive game, and the whole one problem with the Heat the last year, and they just weren't a big team, and Bam was the biggest guy, so he often had to go. He was outsized, like most positions. Now Giannis comes in, he's 6'11", and they're a big team now.
Well, you don't have to worry about Giannis. He's going to get his.
Yeah. Well, you want him to get his. That's what he's paid for, right?
Giannis is going to have 30 plus 15 to 20 rebound nights. He
just has to stay healthy. That's it. If he stays healthy, everything will fall.
That's the only
place.
question with him. Only one. Is this going to be a pattern, or was it just a 1-year deal playing that 30 games? And I'm not even a pig anymore, man. I've come around on this thing. I used to be, all the old guys used to play 80 out of 82 games a year. Why can't you? Now I'm like, can you give me 65? Can you only miss 17 games? Can you give me 65? And you agree, right? We kind of, our whole mindset's changed.
Well,
now.
because they've changed our mindset, right? It's acceptable to play 65 to 70 games, or even 60, as long as you're good in the playoffs.
Well, that's it. So give me 65, but be ready for the playoffs. That's the key.
It's like the Dolphin standards. As watching the Dolphins, just give me a playoff win. It used to be, we want to get to the Super Bowl. Can
I tell you a wild one though? And Bo's right. Bo, this is 100% stolen from my good friend Kimbo Camper. He said, "You remember how we used to win all our playoff games, even though we didn't win a Super Bowl? We won a lot of playoff games." And I didn't really think about it. He goes, "Well, as won our division, we stayed home. In a couple of years, we had the best record, so we got to stay home throughout the playoffs. We won 5 or 6 real quick playoff games during that time because we're at home. You never leave the heat. You're at the old Orange Bowl, and it was great. This thing about going to playoffs and being a wild card 3 or 4 times that we have been to the playoffs and playing a top 2 or 3 team in cold weather has not been our bag. It's not been our bag. It's just not.
No.
We got to win.
It's not a good enough team, and it's playing on the road in bad weather.
And New England hasn't helped things catching up to Buffalo.
I think the bad weather thing's over. It's not the number one. The number one issue is they've been playing better teams on the road.
That is partially true, but we are a little too finessey.
Yes, I agree with that. Yeah, absolutely.
You can do that down here.
They're toughening up. I think.
Yeah.
They're trying to.
No. That's why we got a couple of cold weather dudes here. Now, got the Green Bay guys here. We'll talk more. We got a lot more time to. Yeah, we're on a roll here. This coffee's really kicking in. I can notice with Dave Hyde, who's with us this morning. Atlantic Men's Clinic, ED and Low T, nothing to mess with. I was asking Dave, he goes, "Joe, I don't want to talk about it." And most men don't want to talk about Low T and ED, and I understand that. But I'm here to tell you, it's going to happen to every guy. That combination of Low T and ED is going to kick in on every guy. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what color, what your weight, what your size is, it's going to happen. Some guys in their late 30s, early 40s, which, boy, that's a rough one. and other guys get 50% of them in 50 plus, and 60, you're doomed. You're gonna, and I got doomed. I got hit hard, not just low T, but the ED. Yeah, first ED and that sex drive was hit and miss a lot of weekends, and then it was just a miss, and it finally got my attention to go to Atlantic Men's Clinic, and that's the message this morning, guys. If you're going through it, your energy level and sex drive is gone, and that wife's still looking great, or that girlfriend's still looking unbelievable, and you're just you might as well just be in a rocking chair out in front. Hey, do something about it. Go to Atlantic Men's Clinic. You're in for great results. You really are. This is how it works. You get in there, you set up that first appointment, you get the PSA test, you meet with this professional staff that comes in and answers all your questions, and then they get the results while you're there, and they say, hey, let's get going on this program. We can have it. It happens fast. And number one question I get, if I get on the program, how long before I'll notice a difference? Real fast. Within a few weeks, you'll notice a big difference in your energy level on the weekends. You know, it's vacation time. And if you're saying no to certain vacations because you're going to have to walk too much, you're going to be, man, if you want to get that back, Atlantic Men's Clinic, it just flat out works. 2.5 years on the program, 7 locations in South Florida to serve you. I go to Plantation, a brand new one in Hollywood. Make this call today. You're getting ready for 4th of July weekend. Might be too late right now, but set up that first appointment and hear what they have to say. Man, it works. 877-455-7300 or visit AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. Atlantic Men's Clinic works. Dave, we were just talking during the break. Got over to the Dolphins, and I don't think they're gonna bring in a lot of guys. I know there's still some free agents out there. There's some guys that want to be traded. That I think they're gonna try to go with this group that they have. They might look, and if one of the coaches looks and goes, this guy's just not good enough to play in the league. I mean, he's a nice hustle guy, but I don't. Maybe they release, a couple guys on the 90, 87, 88, 89, but I don't see him going out.
It's already the ultimate tryout camp, isn't it? I mean, you obviously have some positions set, but so many guys are on 1-year contracts.
Well,
and look, I understand what they're doing. I agree with it, but how many more, potential flyers are you going to take on people?
Well, you got some guys on some other teams that want to be traded and they're trying to trade. I don't think want to give up draft picks. I think draft picks are still very important to these guys in their first year here and for next year. This thing is really around 2 draft classes. You know what? I've beat this whole roster up a million times, and it really comes down to last year's draft where all those guys played. Every friggin' guy by the end of the year was playing. Biggers was playing. Quinn was playing. Our 7th-round picks were playing more than 2 7th-round picks could ever play in their life. They were playing at the end of the year. Quinn starting a quarterback 3 games, which I think really helped him because he looks good out there. And Biggers got a lot better by playing towards the end of the year. He got to play a lot. So I look at the 13 picks they have, and I don't change. Your number ones need to look like number ones. They need to be better than everybody else in the draft of this draft class. I don't want to be talking about 4s, 5s, and 6s. Sound like Ireland. I had to get that in there. But we should be talking about our 2 number 1 picks lining up as a starting, because he is, and having success as a corner, either inside or outside, as a nickel or out wide, and also Proctor at guard.
Yeah, these are when a new regime comes in, you look at their first decisions, and these are their first big decisions, and you need to hit on those guys, and you need to hit on Malik Willis, right? I mean, there's the other guy everybody's going to be looking at. Number 1, because he's a quarterback. Number 2, because on a team where they strategically and smartly didn't make big investments, they made a decent sized investment on him. So, and they know him. I mean,
I will just say one thing to the other part we were just talking about. I said yesterday we don't have a number 1 receiver, and you said we may not have a number 1 or a number 2 receiver. But, oh, by the way, Malik, whether they're there or not, you got to make them all look better, and you got to make plays so we know you're the guy.
Again, I look at it, and I've said this, I look at it like New England a couple years ago when they had a down roster, that 4-win team, and yet they walked out of that season knowing they had a quarterback. Even though he had little talent, he had no receivers around him. They saw enough.
He had a pretty good running game, and he had good tight ends is all he had, which we could be in that same boat.
And he made enough good plays and smart plays that you said, okay, we got something here. That's what there's no number or no quarterback rating. You say Malik Willis has to get. It's just sort of a feel that you want to end the season saying, okay, they got something at quarterback.
He kept plays alive. He made enough plays, and you realize, and honestly, this offensive line's a lot better than Drake May's offensive line that you're talking about.
Especially from the center out to the left side.
Well, hopefully Austin Jackson's back because he's fine if he's healthy. He's going to be playing for a contract too, and he still should be motivated to want to play. But he's got to stay healthy and like everybody. So you have that, but I just think, Davey, all these draft picks the last 2 years, we played every one of those guys last year a lot, right? Everybody ended up playing. You can go back and look at that draft class. Those guys played a lot.
Do any of them say special though? I'm just with that last year's draft class. Just be average. Just be average. Can we get to average?
So you want to know right now? I can't give you an answer on that. I think the 2 defensive tackles are going to be really good players.
Phillips and Kenneth Grant.
Yes.
Kenneth Grant, I think at the last 6 weeks or whatever of the last stretch of the season, he looked pretty good. So
Phillips came in, and it looked like from the end of the season, he did nothing but work out. He looked great at camp. You're not supposed to look that good that early, and he's on a mission. So we'll see. And Dante Trader is the other guy he's going to start at safety. And he had trouble breaking in that rotation of guys last year. They went with the veterans a lot, even though some of them didn't do much. But he's going to get a chance.
He's a coach's dream because he's very smart.
Smart.
He doesn't make mistakes. Great communicator.
Great guy.
Great guy.
Really enjoy my time with him.
But as a scout said, he's a great guy. You want him. He's a starter. You can see him playing along, but he's not super, super athletic. He's not. And that's why he went in the 5th round. I mean, but you can see why coaches love him.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, man, safeties and just through the years, you could play safety and be really good without running a 4.3 40 and bench pressing 900. If you're smart and you set up and you study and you work, some guys just have instincts. Part of this game's instincts. You can't run around with your head cut off. You can't run around every time the quarterback looks one way, you go running towards that sideline. I mean, sometimes there's got to be a feel. You study and you know what they want to do to you. And and I'm screaming Glenn Blackwood right now. Screaming Glenn Blackwood. Blackie wasn't going to beat anybody in a foot race. Glenn wasn't Blackwood. I got to stop calling him Black. It was his nickname. Glenn Blackwood, he wasn't even a big physical guy. Remember how he used to throw his body? You'd run down the middle, and those big tight ends would run down the middle of the field, and he and his brother would have a foot race to throw their bodies, launch them at you up high, to try to just and they'd get up, and they took the short end of it over and over again. Lyle Blackwood's nose off to the side, man, just straight, and he goes, just fix it. I don't want to go back inside. Just straighten it now. They go, well, we can't do this in front of everybody. We'll get the players around me and just fix it now and then shoot it so I don't feel the pain. I mean, those guys.
Yeah, and Dante Trader would be in that.
I don't know, was Jake and Dick. I don't know physically what their talent was like, but they were unbelievable safeties.
Jake was the SEC Defensive Player of the Year, and he was a great athlete. And Dick won the what was that, the
great best golfer / football player?
What was that? They had it on Key Biscayne where they
Anderson
did all these the talent show. I can't think of the show. It was on a national show where they ran sprints and swam, and Dick won that one year.
He did?
Yeah. So they were both great talent.
Man, I love being around those two guys.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun.
I haven't seen Dick in a long time. I hope he's okay. I start worrying when I don't hear from. Start worrying when those guys they're all special.
Yeah, we're losing them. We lost Manny Fernandez a couple months ago. You talk about a character. That's the team. That team is full of characters.
I enjoyed my time, man, with all those guys. And people ask me, "Hey, you've been around Zonk?" And I go, "Yeah, man, it's some of the greatest times I've ever had." Jim Kick. I spent a lot of time with Jim, and I got to know Merck. And I see Larry, and I talked to Larry Little a lot, who again I don't know if anybody was better to me my rookie year on the undefeated team than Larry Little. Just had nothing but patience in his last year. Then he came in thinking, and he ended up having to play. He had to play a lot. I don't think he was expecting to play a lot in his last year, but he had to. But he was, and obviously by then you're in your 30s and you went through the great days of Don Shula. Those guys could talk to him differently. Like Bob and Larry and Bob Greasy and Larry Little, they could talk to Shoes. Nobody else could. If he went to rip those guys, which he did, those guys got it, but they give it back.
I don't think Bob got it very much, did he?
No, Bob didn't. No, there was great respect, but they had a different relationship. You're right. I saw Tim Foley. Tim Foley's last year was and Shoes comes over the bench and he's letting them have it. And by then Tim was, he's at the end of his career. He was just playing on smarts. And sometimes smart's not enough, when you got all these athletes running around. And I remember Glenn Blackwood. I love Glenn Blackwood. He goes, That's a reminder right there. He goes, sooner or later, Shoe's going to get everybody. He goes, he just got a guy on the undefeated team that started for him. He's giving him the business. It's going to happen to everybody.
You talk about limited athletes now. Tim Foley, I talked to him once, and he said, I ran the 40 when I was a rookie because we had to run it. And I saw my time. I didn't run a 40 in practice for the clocks the rest of my career. I always came up with my ankle sore or a hamstring because he was so slow. He goes, I didn't want to remind them that
that's a great, because I always wondered how many times, because you got to run it a zillion times when you're a rookie. And then I came back my second year, and Shoes made everybody run. And I remember a lot of the veterans were really pissed. I didn't mind. But for those guys that have been around, they're playing, they're still great players. But Nat Moore didn't want to run a 40 in year 7 or 8. And Nat Moore, when he came in the league, could fly, but he had knee problems, and he didn't want to run.
You don't want to remind them that you've lost some speed.
Just remember how I play and how I get open, not how fast I'm going to run this 40. And we had guys, outside of Duke, it wasn't a very fast team. Nobody was running fast 40s. And then he stopped. Like, I don't remember a lot of 40s after that for when he bring everybody in and wanted to time the 40. And the veterans hated it. Can you imagine being an old veteran offensive lineman and Shoes tells you in year 10 or 11, hey, Cooch, go run a 40?
Or that 12-minute run. That 12-minute run.
Cooch going, really? Yeah. Don, really? You want me to run a 40 for what? That guy, everybody put up with a 12-minute run because that was sacred to him. That was like at the end of a church. You get the last 10 minutes, you're going to be – everybody knew how important it was. But guys hated that 12-minute run. Hated. Nobody went, all right. Now, we had guys trained for it. We did have guys trained for it and tried to impress. And we had new guys that tried to sprint the whole thing and lap you and make you look real bad, which also made guys salty, veteran guys, when a guy's trying to lap them in a 12-minute run and you're trying to get one full football length around the guy. And, guys were salty with that. But it was funny. It was funny because guys would go at some point, somebody would say to Shoes, hey, Shoes, I didn't know we were running track. When's the track team start? When's the Olympics?
I remember one time, because I wrote a book on the 72, Jim Kick and Larry Zonka stopped. Kick actually stopped, and Zonka, to support Kick, stopped. And Shula came running across, waving his arms and yelling, and
You know how he looked at that? You quit now, you're going to quit on me in a game. He would think like that. Because Ed Newman poor Ed struggled with it. It was in his head. Judge Newman, he and Bo does this great thing about him, like just stressed like every step, and he was starting to get crazy, and he's rolling his head trying to get through the last few minutes, and Shoes going, Newman, finish, Newman.
Sounds Seinfeldish. Shula
man.
got that from Paul Brown. I mean, you talk about old school, on top of old school, and he kept it. He gave up. He quit doing it at some point near the end, didn't he?
He didn't do it when I was there. It
Oh,
must have
yeah,
been later on. Hey, 8 o'clock hour's coming up here. Yeah. I can go out to some high school, see some guy run. All right, guys, before we start camp, 12 minutes in this heat today. Let's and don't stop running, no matter what. Don't stop. All right. Hey, I want to talk about something very, very important. Super Sure. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission done. You probably have seen this happen again, right? And then the next thing you know, it's renewal and they're all back to see you again. Your business runs all year, and so do the gaps in the wrist. That's why I'm introducing Super Sure. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just buy a policy online. Super Sure is a super agency built for you, licensed in every state, for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with your year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts, which translates your current policy into plain English so you can get what's covered and what's not so you understand it completely, plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know exactly what your needs are going forward. Go to supersure.com, one super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Go to supersure.com. That's supersure.com, paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
In Miami, you go to the beach for a little solcito, and when you want a low price, you save with your Pricito. Save now with your Pricito at Doral Hyundai. The U.S. men's national team defeated Bosnia and Herzegovina 2-0. They'll face Belgium Monday at 8. Belgium did defeat Senegal 3-2. England downed the Democratic Republic of Congo 2-1. Today at 3, it's Spain, Austria at 7, Portugal, Croatia, then 11, Switzerland, Algeria. Sergei Bobrovsky signed a 3-year, $21 million deal with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Marlins fell to the Rockies 6-3. They wrap up the 4-game series today at 3:10. Plus, the Celtics traded Jaylen Brown to the 76ers for Paul George, 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roofs, roof repairs, maintenance, and hurricane impact windows and doors. Visit tornadoroofing.com. Temperatures in the high 80s, and as the afternoon goes on, a higher chance of rain. I am Dan Day. Now back to the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
All right, welcome back here for the 8 o'clock hour. Appreciate everybody being with us and your patience and everything else. Want to let you know that in case you haven't been paying attention, the Marlins win another series. Lose again. Lose yesterday on their way to play the A's out in Sacramento. Then they're going to be back home, Seattle and Cleveland for a 6-game homestand after the 4th of July. So Seattle begins, I think, on Tuesday, and then Cleveland will be here for the weekends for that 6-game homestand. They've been playing great at home. Really good home record as well. Well, everything in June has been good so far. We got tickets we're going to be giving away, matter of fact, for July 11th versus Cleveland. So we'll have that. We'll be giving that away here. So if you're making some plans when they're going to be back, they'll be this weekend out in Sacramento, just where baseball teams want to spend their weekend, out in Sacramento.
With the A's.
With the A's.
Right near where you grew up, Joe. You'd be going to this as a kid. If the A's
about
had
35 or 40 minutes away. I'll tell you what, if I was living out there, it's a weird situation, though. So the A's play their home games there, 81. And then I was told that almost every other date open on that field goes to the AAA San Francisco Giants. So the Giants' AAA team, San Francisco's only a couple hours away, so it's an easy move when they want to bring somebody up, put them in a car and drive them up here just a couple hours to San Francisco. But it's weird. But, yeah, that thing is I'm guessing that thing's making a few bucks, that little stadium. If you haven't seen it, it's a very small stadium. Now, of course, Sacramento wants to build a stadium and get a team. I'm guessing they have no shot to get that done. I'm guessing Sacramento's not a top, we must get them a team.
No, I don't think. From across the country, I don't think they have a chance. But you tell the Marlins, remember last year, their run differential, even though they had a good record, they're pretty good record, their run differential was like minus 88, 89. Now their run differential is plus 20, 21. This is a legitimate – it's not like they're winning a lot of one-run games and some historic feature that way. This is a legitimately good team.
You know, Dave, when you look back and, hey, man, we do this, you guys do it. A lot of you fans like to look back and like, how we have, what's going on in this team that they're 4 or 5 or 6 games over 500? And you look around and you go, oh, this guy's having a career year. This guy's having one of his best years. Pitchers 1, 2, and 3 are all really good. They're not taking a back seat. That's a really good. The 3 of them have been great. They got a lot of guys having good years, to my point. I'm not saying
they're finding guys. The surprise is the guys they sort of banked on. I mean, when you think of the Jazz Chisholm trade, Augustin Ramirez, the catcher, they sent him down. Yeah, Connor Norby, they got from both.
Who?
Right, and those guys haven't panned out, but a lot of the
other guys did.
Other guys that they, Otto Lopez off the scrap heap.
How about Sanoja?
He's
best third baseman they have. I'm about ready to quit calling him a utility guy and just say play third base there, bro.
He absolutely needs to play more. I couldn't agree more, Joe.
Thank you.
And yeah, it's unsung guys like Estuary Ruiz is another guy that's playing really well. You know, the list goes on and on of these guys. Liam Hicks.
Got a couple of hits. Back
Xavier
in the lineup.
Edwards.
Yeah.
Joe Mack, how about the inside the park home run last night?
Jeez, how good is Joe Mack?
Showing off the
By the way,
wheels a
Joe
little bit.
Mack might just that might be it.
Yeah, you said Augustin Ramirez. Who?
That might be that might be it there. But they got a lot of guys. They got a lot of guys playing really, really well. Good fundamental. Doesn't get sloppy and ugly. It's been fun to watch. And again, doing it with that low payroll. They're starting to do that Tampa Bay thing a little bit.
Well, they got the Tampa Bay guy over here as head of baseball.
Well, anyway, we'll find out. I don't want to get carried away here. Put a whammy on them. We're a little over halfway through this thing.
Yeah, but nobody expected this.
No, you're right.
I mean, so even if they lose it, the fact that they're a good team right now is.
Guy who works for the team told me, and he's told you this too, because you know the same guy, that this might be a rough year before it finally gets going. And I was like, wow, okay. And the crazy part is the guy that, and I've said this before, that they really wanted to build it around. If there was one guy, it was going to be Marcy, who hit 292. I don't know how many games he played last year, but he played a lot and ended up having a really good year, and put him out in center field, and he just can't hit.
They're going to give him every chance. And this is a season. They're winning too. That makes it a little easier to give people extended chances.
As long as the other guys, you can't have everybody. Casey started hitting, which has really, really helped out. But yeah, man. So it's a nice little story going on, and we got our World Cup. And so how much further does our World Cup team go here in the United States? Nice 2-0 win. Belgium next. Sweet 16. Then we're gonna go to 8. What do you think?
They won't be favored against Belgium, but if you're a U.S. soccer fan, this is the game you have to win to take the next step forward. Okay, it was a nice win against Bosnia. They were expected to win that. But coming up, you're going against one of the heavier weights in the tournament, and this is your chance to say, okay, U.S. soccer really has arrived.
Yeah. We had a couple of those teams down. Hey, England's down 1-0, and it's second half, and all of a sudden Harry Kane has a couple of great goals, and they end up winning that game 2-1. And is it Belgium that was down 2-0?
2-0.
Yeah.
80th.
Senegal had them dead to rights.
Yeah, when they're in 80-something minutes, right? At that point, it's 2-0. And I'm talking to Dave.
Yeah.
And I go, Dave, you ain't going to believe this. The game's tied up.
I had left the house, and I was walking the dog.
You go,
actually,
what?
And
you gave me a what?
What? I just left. It was 2-0.
Yeah, well, it's all 2. It's 2-2. This thing's
but the U.S. win was impressive in that they get a red card early in the second half, and they play the last 30 minutes down a man, and they score a beautiful goal off a direct kick and win 2-0. That's 2-0 is
you just keep winning. You just keep winning. Doesn't matter how you keep. You just keep going. And now what are they off the Sweet 16 in this, right? Next one. And so anyway,
the
we'll
quarterfinals.
See. I got a bunch of people calling me going, dude, I'm trying to watch this, and they thought I stayed up and watched. I got messages this morning, and oh my God, so hard to watch. Look, if you don't like soccer, I get it.
I'm not an evangelist for soccer, but I like soccer. I like watching it.
I like the fact we have games here, like tomorrow night. I think it's really cool that finally Messi and Argentina are going to be here, considering he plays for Inter Miami. I think it's great, and he gets to play at the big stadium.
I had a friend last night, flew in from Canada, said he had to fly into Orlando because the airports are so crazy with all the Argentina people coming in for the game.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're expecting 100,000 people to be, in town for the game, just, be part of the crowd.
I think a lot of people would like to see that rematch of the last World Cup finals, which would be Argentina and France.
Come on, Joe. A lot of people want to see U.S.
U.S. Argentina, because they'd have to meet Spain.
I'm not going to just suck up to everybody today. I'm not going to do that. I refuse to do that. It would be a hell of a.
You're saying there's a chance.
It'd be a hell of a story, though, if the USA got to the finals over all these teams with all these players making all this money and all these big clubs all over the world. You go through some of these, they break down during the game. They're going, oh, this guy, oh, my gosh, he's at Real Madrid, and his teammate just made a great pass to him. He's from Liverpool. And I'm like, gosh, it's all the big teams, man.
A lot of people don't know this, but the United States' best player so far has been Flo Balogun, who got the red card last night. He barely made Orlando City's team this year. That's how far he's come in the past year.
He's barely a citizen too. He was born that they wouldn't let his mom get on the plane. They're living in London. They wouldn't let it get on the plane. So he was born here and lived here a month. Then they moved to London. But that's how he got.
If you listen to accents of all our guys, you're like, what? we got a team from around the world, man, from the United States. I'm listening to all these guys' interviews last night or this morning, and I was like, good God, man.
Of course, he got a red card now. He's not going to be available next game.
Out next game.
That was a and
are you going to football?
Are we going to argue? Are we going to argue on the red card?
I'm not going to argue with you because I don't know enough.
I turned to my son and say, "Was that a red card?"
Oh, there you go. That sounds better.
It didn't look. Usually a red card is intentional or extremely violent, and but intent is, and that was just an unfortunate.
Then they go back and reviewed it, right? Didn't they
review it? Which, but
if they reviewed it,
the Mike Pereira, the replay guy for the commentary said it's not a red card, and then the official so we got a big controversy, Joe. We got a big soccer.
I'm staying out of that one. It's a little out of my lane.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Yeah, I don't want to get out of my lane too much here, man. I need to stay in that slow lane because I'm a fraud already, and I don't want to.
Well, you can enjoy it. You don't have to. You've never claimed you're an expert. Now, when you start talking about you're a soccer expert, then
no, you start doing that then.
But these are fun. It's a fun event to watch every day after day after day, and all the different
I think
bizarre fans.
When you understand how important soccer is to so many of these countries, really doesn't matter what country it is. Countries you may never go to France and England. This is it, man. There is no other sport where, we got a different season coming up. No, it's soccer.
Can you imagine if you had only the Dolphins for the past quarter, and you're losing, and it'd be like how much worse it would be if
it was the Dolphins and they're in the Premier League, they'd be in that minor league.
They'd be relegated, right? That's a good point.
but you're out. You and Cleveland are out.
But if you couldn't mix it up with all the other sports, how much? Look, the Dolphins are the king here. They're number one.
We don't mix it up much anyway. If you listen to this show, we beat you. We beat you up. Come on, man. Jeez. I matter of fact, I got people already. It's hilarious going, dude, you're gonna talk football or what? We're gonna this and then my cousin out in California gets up early and listens. He's a couple years younger than I am, and he just gets up about killing me for being a fraud on this soccer thing. Yeah.
You're not a fraud, Joe. You never.
He said 2-0. He goes, come on, man. Come on. You cannot tell me. He goes, I'm flipping it to baseball as we're speaking. All right, man.
Just pretend they're touchdowns, and it's 14-0. It doesn't sound.
Hey,
bad,
you know what's great about sports in general? Because we go to parties, and I listen to a guy go, hockey's by far the best and the most popular, without knowing numbers and stuff. And so then you got to make that decision when you hear that or somebody, and you go, do I want to tell the guy it's way behind basketball? Or do I just leave it alone? When you do that, and I go, there's nothing out of it, because everybody's got their favorite sports or the sports they played growing up or where they grew up.
You just leave it alone, don't you, Joe? Or do you?
Because it just leads to more. Yeah. No, I don't do that. But everybody's got favorite sports, and it's great. Hey, man, it keeps us all in business, and we do. And you'll find out where somebody's from. You got a pretty good idea what they care about the most. I got one big priority is to see this Dolphin thing get turned around with stability. Really. We've tried everything.
I was going to say how
we've tried everything,
project.
But we did one thing differently this year that we haven't done. We cleaned house. You can't run it back with another guy that was with another guy that was with another guy, and he's a nice guy, and everybody you can't do that. That was done. It was time to really look at everything and go, no. It got crazy around here. It got crazy. And as we found out, I think it started to fall apart between people not talking, which happens when things aren't going well. and between coaches and front office members without getting into all that stuff because we're getting a
But to
getting
your
a fresh
point,
start.
cleaning house, Joe. They not everybody knows the roster and the coaching staff and John Eric Sullivan, but 10 of the 19 people in the personnel department are new. That's a change, meaning the not just assistant general manager, but a lot of scouts too.
You know what? You know what's funny? You know what I like best about what they did? And we got to go to break here. We're a little bit late. Is he gave everybody a chance through the draft that he could watch. He wanted to see how they did, see how he matched up with what he thought and what they were seeing, and he kept some of them. He didn't just go, you guys all suck, you've been with Chris Greer too long, you're done. He didn't do that, which would have been easy to do, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, we're in Madrid. I'll never forget, a guy comes up to me and go, hey, 25 years and 20-something years, 2 guys have been with Chris, gone, let him go. Somebody, I don't know if it was the interim general manager, somebody said, no, you guys been part of the same rut. And it's
they just need new ideas, new blood,
long.
and very good.
Yeah. So here we go. Fresh start. And now I got to see how everybody's patience pills hold up because we're ordering. You can get Miami Dolphin patience pills. They're a little expensive. They went up a little bit, but to get through and see what this thing's going to look like.
I was thinking of when I was sitting here thinking of writing and a patience-ometer this year, like on the scale.
Everybody's shot on patience.
Yeah.
I have just learned. Guys my age are
But you better have some. You better have some.
But you better have some. Better have some.
Either that or don't watch.
I might take Monday mornings off. Might have to say Joe Rose gets new contract, no Mondays. Hey, we're going to break here. We are getting a little late. Dave Hyde's with us today, along with All Day Dan Day. Jamie got the whole gang in here. Woody's on a little vacation right now. But, hey, some things never change. Some things go on, and some things you need to take care of, and that is your mental health, man. Summer's here, and Dr. Barry's team at Recovery Unplugged has your back. That mental health residential program in Fort Lauderdale is private, comfortable space to heal. It is fantastic with music-based care that hits the right note for you. If you're going through it right now, depression, anxiety, got knocked off the road a little bit, and your buddies have noticed, man, hey, you're not yourself, man. You need some help. We can't help you with this one, man. You need some help, or you're listening right now and you could use a little bit because you're going through a little anxiety and depression and haven't been able to get some help, don't know where to turn to. Well, I'll tell you what, you're going to be, Recovery Unplugged is going to be perfect for you. They accept most major insurance plans. Call 954-737-4508. Well, I want to get you back on the road, man. I want you to be mentally healthy. Visit recoveryunplugged.com this summer. Heal out loud. out on the road. I've been down before. All right, welcome back, and good morning to everybody. Thanks for being with us here as we're going to be off tomorrow. Going to take an extra day and enjoy extra 4th of July.
I'll be going down to the Keys. And when you sing in there, it reminded me what I'd like to do in my second career is
what?
I'd like to sing
What are you
a
coming
little
up with
sing
now?
a little in the bars down there. You know, I play the piano a little. I play a handful.
You get
of
a few
songs.
drinks, you don't sing too, do you? I haven't seen
I
that
play
side
Piano
of you.
Man. I play. I have a little. I'm working on a
Just to
Coldplay
forget
song
about
now.
life for a while. Yeah.
What will you sing, Joe? What's your go-to karaoke song?
I don't know the words to songs, so it just doesn't do.
It just depends.
I get through the song a little bit, and then I don't know the words. Certain.
So you do karaoke every day in this building.
That's
I do.
Exactly.
I do.
That's my point here. He's just singing.
So I go by all the FM radio stations, and I'm singing something I hear, usually the last, and with Kenny, 102.7. So they're playing, and it'll be an oldie that's something that I remember, and I start singing, but they'll always correct me and like, that's not how the song goes. Every station comes down and goes, that's not how the song goes. So it's I'm not
in the
very-
age before the internet, when you couldn't look up lyrics, everybody got lyrics wrong, right? In rock songs.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, when you're down in the Keys, grab an extra key lime pie out of our place down there, will you?
Oh yeah, yeah. The blonde giraffe.
Oh,
Actually, there's one sitting in my fridge right now. My wife brought it up, and we
we
had it. My son's birthday. We ate half of it. Still a couple pieces.
You know what?
I debated bringing in a piece, and I thought Joe
Nah.
probably wouldn't like that. You know,
You know what's amazing? I love key lime pie. I never had it till I came back here. One of the 3 or 4 foods I've never had till I got back here. But besides Cuban food, obviously, I'd never had Cuban food. Ralph Ortega. Remember Ralph?
Yeah,
Middle
sure,
linebacker.
yeah.
He's a badass too. He's Cuban American, and coming back home to play. Got traded from Atlanta here, and he's the first guy to say, "Hey, Joe, we're at Cuban food." Dummy here, not knowing, not familiar with Cuban.
I had no
background.
idea either before I moved here.
So I come here and I start with the Mexican stuff because
Right.
I come from
Yeah.
a Mexican agriculture town. The whole area, the whole valley is, a lot of agriculture. And he started like this is nothing like it. I mean, I offended him. Like I said, look at man, I don't know, but I'm a West Coast, because Ralph was he was a tough cookie. He's a tough dude, man. He's a really good player. And so anyway, that was the thing. But the key lime pie, you get back here and you go, try to go, man, this is good. Grew up mother and grandmother making apple pies and peach
You're right.
pies.
You never had
and-
key lime pie. I don't know. Well, does any place in the country grow key limes?
Everybody makes key limes everywhere.
They
I
do,
was just
okay.
in Wyoming and they had key
They
lime
had
out
key limes
there.
in Wyoming.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
somehow they had key lime pie.
But your family, the good thing for you,
And everybody's ripping it.
you don't like your family doesn't like key lime.
No,
pie.
nobody likes key lime pie. So
More for you.
when she buys one of those that comes back from the Keys and it sits there,
Oh.
I don't have to worry about being polite. I can just grab a fork because nobody else can eat it. So now, everywhere I'm going, I get more people tell me they hate key lime pie. They just don't like it. My barber,
How
Jay,
can you hate key
Jay
lime
at
pie?
Carl's Barber Shop. Can't stand it, Joe. I just want to let you know he's a whole hard ass. I can't stand it. I go, really? You too? Just cut my hair, man. Just cut my hair. You guys like, it's not a big deal. You like key lime pie? You too?
I love key lime pie.
What
I've
about
actually
you,
never
Jamie?
had it.
Huh?
I've never had it.
You've never had key lime pie?
Never had key lime pie. I guess I fell through the cracks. I've never tried it.
What?
No.
You haven't at least tried it to go, I don't like it?
Can't say that I've tried
I
it.
guess
No.
you're
You live
you're-
a very sheltered
your
life.
family doesn't like your parents don't like key lime
We're
pie.
not a key lime pie family.
Well, then there you
but
have it.
I'm not like a picky eater.
I'm gonna bring.
like,
I'm definitely bring. Next time I come, I'll bring in.
I'm happy to try it. Yeah, I'm not a picky
We'll
eater.
have a
like, it looks
taste test
good,
here.
But yeah, I've never
I'll
had it.
tell you what, man, key lime pie is moving way up the ladder. Not pumpkin during the holidays. I'm like holiday, whatever the holiday is.
But you only have pumpkin pie on the holiday, on Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
right? That's it.
and Christmas. Yeah.
And Christmas. That's
I try
it.
to do it twice a year.
Like if you said, let's have a piece of pumpkin pie right now, that would make no sense, right? It just wouldn't.
Yeah.
But you could have key lime pie any day of the year.
I can't go down to the Keys and not stop by that place.
The Dolphins used to in the press box 1 game a year serve those little
No, they
individual
every
key lime
game.
pies.
Yeah,
every
they
game,
have 'em.
Every game that they have key lime.
Oh, okay. Okay. I used to put down like 6 of them. Like, because they're little, man. They're perfect.
By the way, all the visiting media, those guys go right there and they grab, and they did get small. They grab a couple of them. One of their favorite things in the league is our key lime pie. Some of them don't eat the food. They just go right for the key lime pie.
If I were to try it, like, where's the spot down here to get key lime pie?
Well, you live out west.
Yeah, I live in Davie. By you?
Well, you
Oh,
go
we got
off.
the perfect spot for
You
it.
got Ross right off of Griffin Road there, just not too far off
It's
the
called
turnpike,
Ross.
right?
off the turnpike, maybe
Half a
half
mile.
mile.
Yeah, not far.
on the left side. And
Now they have a lot of different
you just
pies.
wait. I'll bring in some and you
By the
try
way,
it next time.
Bring
They
me
have a
some
lot
key
of
lime
different
pie, David.
pies, and I've tried all of them there, but the key lime is the one to go with. They're known for that, but they do make,
All right, we'll do
What
a
a
taste
terrible,
test.
what a terrible childhood you must have had.
I must have missed out. Yeah, I don't know.
I
Never
can't-
had key lime pie.
honestly, I can't believe you didn't at least try it to say you didn't like it.
What
I'm
about
not saying
Cuban
like
food? Have you
everything.
ever had Cuban food?
Yeah, I like a Cuban sandwich.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
just checking that you're a South Florida kid.
You said
that
Cuban sandwich? Is that what you just threw out, the
That's
Cuban
extent of your
sandwich?
Cuban food?
I mean,
Immediate
There are
noche?
a lot of Cuban Americans. Hey, bro, there's more than just that delicious Cuban sandwich jerky.
I'm getting killed right now.
We're branching out from
I do
swipe
Cuban-
right. We're going deeper into your
yeah, you guys are
We
learning
go,
about
we
it.
go
new leaf
Cuban
here.
food once a week. That's how much I
Yeah.
like it. It's in a rotation. Dave, you're down there.
we
in
just
Miami.
had a couple nights ago. So, but you're right. It is in the rotation. But there's a few other things. We have I only
Say it, David.
well, we have Mexican. We have pizza. My wife makes various pasta things, but Cuban is in the rotation. Yeah.
When I go to Marysville, like there's in this little town, most of you will never go to. It's a rundown town. It's in bad shape overall, but I would say 7 or 8 restaurants in the town, and 6 or 7 of them are Mexican.
Really? Yeah.
All Mexican
And it's
food.
a great
It's
Mexican.
really
food.
good. It's all
Yeah.
home, all family owned everywhere. It's great.
You
Great
can never
stuff.
go wrong with Mexican.
No, and California
Yeah.
Mexican's different than
It's different.
Tex-Mex.
Yeah.
Yeah, California,
Yeah.
Mexico,
It's-
Mexican food is on a different level than just Mexican food.
I got to tell you, man, we go to we used to go to San Diego. Now we don't do that. The Chargers moved, but we used to go down there, and the big guy, Bo, loves Mexican. He eat Mexican food 14
Didn't
times
he eat
a
it
day.
every day in London? Was that the Mexican restaurant?
Yeah, he found that in Madrid.
You're in London.
No, in Madrid.
Oh, Madrid. Okay.
He found a Mexican restaurant. He went 3 nights in a row. We went 2 nights in a row. It was good. And we're going like, hey, man, this isn't Mexico. This is Madrid. They must have some good food here. And he kept going to this Mexican restaurant. But yeah, San Diego's got great Mexican food. They make those. You get to watch them make tortillas against the little ladies making tortillas fresh right there. Bam. Damn, I'm getting hungry. It's one thing, food, man. No question about it. But the key lime pie reaction to that day you were talking about, the Sun Sentinel was having their, what was it, favorite place?
What's your favorite key lime pie, basically?
And by the way, it's the same places every year. When
Yeah.
nobody comes up brand new and goes, hey, you got the number. No, it's the same ones. Publix gets a little love.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, but it's cheap. It's like $9.99. I know I've
Look
done the
at
taste
you.
test around town here. Yeah, I did my taste test. I've tried them all. So when I say the Blonde Giraffe in the Keys, and there's a place in the Coconut Grove called it's not Hookums, it's Fookums, Foo.
Well, Fukum.
There you go.
Got to get some Fukum.
It's a guy who lost his job
Oh,
during the
fuck you.
pandemic, and he started making
Yeah.
key lime pie.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
Jamie, we'll set you up next time. You just don't try anybody that are gonna. People are gonna try to get you to have a piece, but we want the taste
You have
test.
my word.
You know,
You're going to bring me in some key lime pie. I'm going to try it.
You know, the other thing I never had till I came down here, 2 other things, just to be fair to the world here. You had never been to South Florida before.
No,
you came down here to get a job.
no.
So it was brand new to you,
I never
right?
even visited. I came
Yeah,
here
me
for a
neither.
job interview.
Me neither. Okay. So give me some foods you tried for the first time when you came down here. The Cuban food, obviously.
The Cuban.
I never had
I mean,
Cuban
anything
restaurants where I'm
from Nicaraguan food. I mean, all that.
Have you ever had a bagel growing up?
Yeah, I did. I
Never
did.
had a bagel.
Yeah.
And I never had chicken wings. And I used to go home looking for them after we had chicken wing places, Wings and Things, and then Wings Plus and
Right.
Wings, and they're really good places.
Maybe I never had chicken wings either. Now that I'm thinking about it, but that might
dipped
have
in
just
blue
been my
cheese,
shoulder- oh,
curly fries,
I love it.
making myself hungry thinking
Yeah.
of that combo. Jamie, don't tell me you don't do that, bro. I'll
No,
come in
I'm
there and
getting
smack
killed right
you.
now for no key lime pie, but you never had chicken wings or a bagel?
Well, it was a different time when we grew up. For instance, I remember
I grew up in this little town. We didn't take vacations far away unless you just up in the mountains there in the Sierra Nevadas, which is beautiful, nice, and little lakes up there. Yeah, bro, but I wasn't hitting the world, okay? Jerky.
and food wasn't a diverse thing back when we grew. I remember when the first Taco Bell came into my small town, and people were trying Mexican for the first time. That's sort of how. But to your point, I understand what you're saying about.
No, I get
bagels,
ripped
too.
when I said I haven't had a bagel and I haven't had chicken
Well,
wing till I
ripping
got
him-
down
we're
here.
ripping him for a key lime pie, so he's
What goes
just
around
trying to
comes
give it
around,
back.
so you just ripped me.
You're waiting to blast me. Good move. That's good. Yeah, I think that town was that little town of Marysville was just about 100%. Yeah, it was just a big fat Catholic church right in the middle of that.
You could
thing.
probably open a nice bagel shop in Marysville. You do some business, right? People trying bagels still for.
I'm guessing. Yeah, I still haven't seen.
No?
I don't think I ever had a bagel out there. I mean, I have in the Bay Area, so I know that. But yeah, man. I growing up, nothing. Not that. And chicken wings. Man, I came back here in those chicken wing joint.
I don't know when they became a thing.
Chicken wings?
Yeah, growing up.
So I got here in the 80s, and they had those chicken wing places because, by the way, half my teammates ended up getting them. Bo's got chicken wings in his place.
Yeah.
Bob Brzezinski, Mark Denard's killing it in Texas. He's got them everywhere. Everybody got in the chicken wing business off this. But that Wings, want to say if I'm wrong, Wings and Things.
Wings and Things. I remember
They were
Wings and
everywhere.
Things, yeah.
And she was such a sweetheart. The family was so nice. But we used to eat in there all the time, man. That was addicting. That blue cheese combination on those. That was.
That's why right now there's a cafeteria in the Dolphins complex where they serve completely healthy food.
No,
right?
that would not be on the healthy program. Burgers and wings, yeah, that would not be not part of the deal. Hey, Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk is going to join us coming up. I'm sorry about that. I had to bring up 2 people blasted me about how bad key lime pie is and how they can't the taste. And I looked and I go, but you've lived down here a long time, and then.
That'd be like blasting.
But how about little Jerky in the other room
I'm
here? He's never
surprised.
had
He's
key
a
lime
South
pie.
Florida kid.
I'll have to be the judge if key lime pie is good or not.
Maybe your parents were protecting you. Maybe.
Yeah, right.
Maybe I don't know. But I've never heard them say, I'm really feeling like a key lime pie right now. Like that's never been mentioned in my family.
Now you're ripping the old man. I like that. You're getting after the old man. Like, yeah, my dad, friggin' dad.
Yeah.
You think he ever tried a key lime pie?
Yeah.
You tell your dad to kiss my. No, I'm just kidding, man. Hey, we're going to break here. We get to a lot more stuff. Hey, how's LeBron sound? How's that sound as a big 3?
Let
me do this one more time before we go to break. Bam. Let's put Bam first. Giannis and LeBron.
The
Little
next
pause,
3. The
LeBron.
next 3. The bigger 3. I don't know. You got to play with the name a little here, but it sounds good.
Okay, you got Wiggins, Portis, Hardaway coming in, 12-13 a night. I like it. Pella Larson getting ready to. I think Pella Larson's
Mitchell.
gonna.
I mean, that's a team.
Davion Mitchell,
who's
by the way is a good dude, man.
Contend in the East and in the right situation, as the Knicks did this year. Maybe take down the big guys in the West.
Yeah.
Does LeBron want to win? Is winning one of the big thing that's moving him, or is it just going to a comfortable place? Because
he doesn't want to.
Does
He doesn't want to be on a playing team.
Well, none of these three teams will be playing teams, but he's not going to win. He's not going to be the winner in Cleveland or Golden State. He has a chance here. I mean, that'd be his best chance of those three. Is that the hometown sell right there?
Oh, God, you are, man.
You don't do, but you agree.
Pat Riley, hire Dave Hyde right now, the PR firm, because he's really
Tell me I'm wrong, Joe.
No, you got a chance.
I mean, they have a chance. They don't have a chance at the other two places. They have a chance. I'm not saying they will happen.
You, man. We wake up today and Toronto's feeling good. I'm guessing I can't imagine a Philadelphia sports writer's upset about getting Jaylen Brown unless you're just a complete miserable human being.
No, everybody in Philadelphia is loving it, and everybody in Boston.
They got a chance. I don't know what Boston's doing.
Oh, I read the Boston papers this morning. They're ripping it.
You give up a guy that arguably is, I don't know where you're.
They're calling it the worst trade in Boston history. And remember, they traded Boston, maybe Celtics history, because that's the city that traded Babe Ruth.
And Boston doesn't go around looking for draft picks. That's never been their thing. It's about they understand the competition in town. It's win right now, right?
Now the only question is, do they flip all this for somebody? You know, all these draft picks, all that, but usually it's a three-way trade at that point.
Man, is there something we don't know about that?
There must be something about Jaylen Brown.
We don't know. Because the guy that plays on the basketball court is really friggin' good. All right, hey, we got to go to break. Chill Zone Air Conditioning. Oh, President Melissa De Verona from Chill Zone Air Conditioning. I love the way you do business. I called her 2 weeks ago, and she goes, hello, this is Melissa. Can I help you? And I go, oh, my God, you really do answer the phone. This is Joe Rose. Hey, Joe, how you doing? I go, my gosh, I got an air conditioner. One of my air conditioning units is out. And, hey, man, you've been talking about it, and can you tell me more? I said, I don't really know anything. It's just not working. And so we'll be out. It was at the end of the day. I'll see you tomorrow. What time? Bop, bop. She's on time. Michael comes out on one of her trucks, and she goes, no, I send everybody out. And whether you need a new air conditioning unit, there's no surprises. Being on time, so you're not waiting around all day. You can still enjoy your day. Waiting for them to come is the worst thing. And then having somebody come and not know what they're doing. Michael picked up the problem right away, picked up the piece, and bam, air conditioning unit back working. There's a frustration out there with bad air conditioning companies. There is. And you can't get a hold of the top guy. He won't talk to you. And everybody's too busy, and guys aren't trained properly, and nobody's on time. The business can really suck, to be honest. Well, I'll tell you what, chillzoneac.com. Go check it out. Go to Chill Zone Air Conditioning. I'm telling you, no matter what it is, fix the air conditioning unit you have with great service. Get yourself a new air conditioning unit, duct cleaning, or anything else. Chill Zone's covering all of South Florida and do great work for you, starting with being able to talk to Melissa, the president of the company, being able to talk to her directly. Tell her you heard it right here on 104.3 WQAM. If you're ready to try something different, I think you are. Go to chillzoneac.com or call 786-378-2778 for Chill Zone Air Conditioning. All right, welcome back. 9 o'clock hour is coming up. Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk is going to join us a day early because tomorrow everybody's off. So we'll talk to him. We got a lot of football stuff going on here. I haven't talked to you about this. Dave Hyde's with us. This Brendan Sorsby, were you surprised Roger Goodell, where everybody was trying to figure out how he's going to handle it and what round Sorsby is going to go in the supplemental draft? And Roger Goodell went, there's not going to be a supplemental draft. So we don't have to worry about it, and there's nothing the union can do because he's not on a team.
Great leadership. Well, I'm serious. That's a great executive decision because you didn't want first of all, you want to send a message to the whole NFL, all the players, that gambling on games is super serious. That's
so we're going
down the league.
So what you're saying is we're going to take all the money from gambling.
Yes.
We're going to be partners with them in gambling.
Yeah.
We're going to take a piece, and it's a big part of our growth. But, hey, listen up. Don't you bet on a damn game or you're done.
Yes, and everybody can understand that line, right?
I do.
I mean, there's a
used to
business
go
side of sports, and there's the playing
Where's
side.
the first time you saw that sign? The sign about gambling?
Probably when I walked in a baseball
locker room right next to the clubhouse.
Yeah.
When you go in, there's a big, serious line that says gambling. It makes it clear to everybody. Anybody that covers the team, to anybody going in there, how so it's very clear, Sure,
and
Pete
they're
Rose with that 1,000 times.
But to your point that the league, you look at the advertisements all over, and these 21, 22-year-old guys say, "Why? I'm not hurting anybody by gambling on another game," and then it leads to your. So Goodell, I thought, made a great statement of, first of all, they probably don't want Sorsby in the league right now, considering everything he's gone through. Let him straighten out his life, and then
get straightened out. See if a year you'll have a lot of free time. See how you handle it, and then you come on back and join us as long as everything's good. And second of all, the CFL. I'm sure you'd have taken a job in the CFL just to get some work, and they said, "Nope, we don't want you either."
Junior college? I didn't realize that was an option.
Well, somebody told me the junior college thing, but boy, that's stepping back.
He's got to play somewhere, though, if he can, though. I mean, that's the thing.
I think he came out and said he's sitting out the year and getting ready for the NFL draft.
All right.
Going to work out for a year, stay in shape, get yourself ready to go. Try to knock those demons down off your shoulder. They're not gone.
Is he a top pick? I mean, is he
good.
A legitimate first round?
He's good.
Or something?
He's good.
I looked at some projections, and they said his ceiling is kind of being like Malik Willis. That's what a couple of the projections were. And we don't know how good Malik Willis is.
Starting quarterback for the Dolphin. That's not bad.
Or can be in the league and make a good living for a long, long time. Let me tell you, all the quarterbacks that don't work out that are first-round picks end up being backups for 15 years. Right? No,
yeah.
And we see that.
And that's a great job.
Hey, so anyway, we're way behind, and I apologize, but we do have a lot of stuff to get to here, and the Mike Florio's coming up here early 9 o'clock hour. We'll talk to him. I'm sorry, man, I don't get the Jaylen Brown thing, and I know those guys are a lot smarter than I am. I'm the first to admit. I know the Celtics are a lot smarter. Jaylen Brown, I've never seen him get in trouble, so it's not the Tyreek Hill thing. I just don't get it. I don't get Jaylen Brown. How bad a guy could you be that you want to get rid of a guy when you're getting Paul George?
And
I'm listening to all these guys. I get everybody likes Paul George. You hear all the former players stroking Paul George? He's 36 years old.
He's played 78 games total the last 2 years. I mean, his body is starting to – he's 36. He's played a lot of basketball. His body's failing. He's expensive.
Games. He is expensive.
And he doesn't – his game doesn't compare at this point to Jaylen Brown.
Man, I'm telling you, Philly ought to be front page. We got him. We're in great shape. No matter what happens to Joel Embiid, we're in good shape. And
Joe, here's the question though: why didn't someone offer more? That's what I don't understand. That seems such a weird package. You don't get better financially. It's the same contract. I mean, 1 year less.
I don't know. You said this before. Maybe there's something else getting ready to brew. I don't know.
That's the only way I can explain it.
Hey, we got to go to break here. Matter of fact, we're not going to talk about anything. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a moment for the 9 o'clock hour.
These headlines are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. In Miami, we go to Little Solcito at the beach. You want a low price, you can get your Pricito at Doral Hyundai. U.S. men's national team defeated Bosnia and Herzegovina 2-0. They'll play Belgium Monday at 8. And then you also have some games today. Starting at 3 o'clock, Spain, Austria, 7 o'clock, Portugal, Croatia, 11 o'clock, Switzerland, Algeria. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roofs, roof repairs, maintenance, and hurricane impact windows and doors. Visit tornadoroofing.com. Give the weather a D today. It's not going to be absolutely beautiful. It's going to be raining and temperatures in the high 80s. I am Dan Day. Now back to the Joe Rose Show on 104.3 FM WQAM.
D's, man. It's all about D's. Always about D's. We got a lot going on. Hey, man, how about the Portuguese? I'm a little worried about the Portuguese, not Portugal. Just
not
feeling with Ronaldo in there in the middle, man.
But
He's starting to look like a statue. And the statue should be when you retire.
Well, you know what I was thinking watching this soccer? The American coach, the Italian, what's he wearing? Have you seen these shirts and everything?
I saw his interview.
What happened to attire of coaches across sports? The only one who wears suits anymore are hockey coaches. I'm fine with this, by the way.
Cooler atmosphere, cooler
NBA coaches, Spo's delighted not to wear. Remember his first game?
One guy I see in sweats yesterday, one of the games, was just flat out sweats, top to bottom, looked like about a $20 sweatsuit.
But someone's got to ask Pochettino. I wish we'd
maybe
ask
the coach from England.
They're dressing all differently in the World Cup.
Yeah, the old days of
suits and ties.
Yeah, no longer.
Some college basketball coaches still do, like Calipari and
those
Rick
old school
Pitino
guys.
Still does.
Old school. Yeah,
most of them wear sweats. NFL, they're wearing the workout tops.
Hey, I got to tell you, man, Spo. I wonder if Spo hadn't. And we were talking about Spo and Riley conversations. I wonder if Spo said, "Hey, Pat, a couple of things. First of all, I can't practice like we used to. Second of all, I'm not dressing like you do in those nice
Definitely
suits."
They have, because they have talked. They've joked about that.
I know you got real nice suits, and I hope you still have things to go to. You can put them on occasionally and go out, but that's not me.
Well, you know, before the first game, when Spo was an assistant coach, I believe Riley had to tie his tie for him or he gave him a tie. Either gave him a tie or he tied it. I can't remember. But the point is, Spo loves that they wear sweatsuits, and you know, he's the modern era coach. Nobody wears suits anymore in the NBA.
I got to tell you, man, seeing Dolphins matching sweatsuits, got the Dolphin suits going home to be comfortable, which makes sense after you play a game. You get dressed up to go home after 3 hours, and guys limping onto the plane.
But Pochettino, the U.S. coach, is wearing these like bizarre shirts, and I just want to get a.
I think we get the
fashion statement.
I think we get the flavor of the world, man.
Yeah,
I do. I just think it's just a little bit of everything, no question about it. Just.
But you're on Portugal. You're not. You don't think they're
no. And I only know because I looked to see where all those guys are playing on big teams. There are a lot of them are playing on really, really good teams. But I'm on this thing playing Ronaldo is a kiss of death. The coach likes him. Some guys have ripped it. Like, you got another guy should be playing, and you know, he comes in and he goes, Ronaldo's arguably one of the 2 or 3 greatest players to ever play the game. He is. He's got a zillion goals. He made a lot of money too. Hey, you know, we were talking before. Do you ever think we'd be talking about athletes with the way salaries used to be? And we got a lot of guys made over $1 billion. We got a lot, and we got a lot more. Well, first of all, Ronaldo and Messi are way over $1 billion.
Right.
That's
well,
done.
Messi's making
Tiger's way over $1 billion in earnings.
Phil must be, right?
LeBron.
I
don't know. Phil got in a new business called Show Me Your Package.
UPS?
Show me your package. Hey, you ever seen this? Come here. I will never understand that, man. I will never understand that. Remember that we went through that for a little while. We had a few guys, including Brett Favre, although he denied it, but he showed the package of the little girl.
The
on
most
the sideline.
interesting one was
What makes you sin? I know I can't rhyme it because I think I'll get in trouble if I said the pick with the word in front of it. But what makes
the most interesting one to me that a Miami Heat player did it years and years ago.
I do remember that.
And they made him talk to the media and apologize. And that spoke about the organization, right? I mean, okay.
Dave, I think you got a problem if you're going around and you have in your mind when her husband gets up to go to the bathroom, she doesn't seem happy with him. Let me show you something here. Here's what you get if you stop by my room tonight. And the door will be open for you.
And Phil did it to a good friend's wife.
That's the one I'm talking about.
That's just so. For him to get kicked out of two, country club, golf country clubs.
He said he's working on, obviously he's got some issues. I'm just glad it's not Amy, his wife, who seems very sweet. God bless old school there, 35 years staying loyal to the cause, and he's going through all this stuff. And she says, I married him. I know he's got problems he's going through, and I'm going to be there for him. I went, man, good for you. Good for you. But I don't know, we're going to see him again. He's going to be hiding for a while, this stuff.
I mentioned that I would love Phil and Tiger to have a podcast together, a talk show or something.
We said that yesterday, 1 hour.
That would be
1 hour back and forth with Tiger and Phil. Who's got better stories? Tiger, you didn't do this. Oh, no. I didn't need to, Phil.
I did this.
Phil, I didn't need to do that. Wow. And they gave, and by the way, they gave us the greatest golf we've had. Those two. Because you were there for a while. I can't speak for everybody. You were either Phil or you were Tiger. And I was Tiger.
We were both Tigers. Yeah. Just
the crowd's coming in.
Phil had a goofy personality, I thought.
Yeah. Old Ford Phil. Yeah. No, I just and to see him in this situation, both of them were, if you think about it, both should be on the senior tour right now. 50 and 55, I think. It'd been great what they would have done for the senior tour, both those, just playing in their big events and still playing on the PGA Tour when they want, because they're going to have the green light to play anytime they want because they've won majors. And instead, it's just
that's the great thing about golf. You can have the long goodbye. There is no goodbye.
I tell you what,
senior tour
golf, even though they're making more money, has not recovered from that time. Has not.
Well,
I was hoping Rory could do it. Scotty doesn't do it, and he's now known as Scotty Scheffler. I finished second again. He's going to break some kind of record for finishing second.
And he doesn't have the personality
That's
to
just
carry
not
it.
his thing,
Individual sports are dependent upon individual players and personalities, and nobody will match Tiger for what he did and the presence he was in golf.
All you did when you were CBS and NBC back when they were fighting back and forth, they wanted Tiger events. Tiger playing on the West Coast. No, he's going to play. Okay, he's going to play the Cadillac Championship. Okay, we got it. They won his events, man. There's a few guys that move the meters on sporting events on TV and crowds. MJ played in front of sellouts forever. I don't know if you put LeBron in there as one of those guys. Close.
He's close. I mean, not MJ, but yeah, he was up there. But tennis now, who moves the needle in tennis?
Hey, man, I got news for you. I didn't think it was the case, but I've been watching and I'm coming around on this. I'm glad you asked. It's not they've lost something. No Federer, no Nadal, and Djokovic, and even Murray in there. They don't have those four guys. Alcaraz being out has killed it. Has just hurt it. Sinner and Joker's 39. God bless him. I've really turned to actually liking the Joker, man. He's having fun. He's still one of the 3 or 4 best players in the world. But that thing's hurting without those guys, all those different personalities and styles, all gone. It's not the same.
And you look at MLS, look what Messi did. One guy did to that whole league.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
So,
listen, We're
personality.
going to switch it. We haven't done this. We got a lot of stuff in football. Man, it's just impossible for every guy to stay out of trouble after the end of the year. It's just impossible. And a guy literally threw his career away. We'll talk to Mike Flory about some of that stuff. We got a bunch of stuff here in the offseason get caught up with. I haven't talked to Mike for a while. We'll have Mike Flory from Pro Football Talk when we come back. Hour Thursday, but it's our Friday. We'll be off tomorrow, and nice enough to join us like he has. I don't know how many years. I always tell everybody I think he's been with me longer in some of my relationships. Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk joins us this morning. Mike, how you doing, man? I know I haven't been doing that, but how are you doing?
Wait a minute. Have you had relationships that lasted 20 plus years?
Don't get him started.
Hey, has it really been? Does that go back to Nick Saban? It does, man. That's funny.
Oh, yeah.
I always tell her.
I think that was how you may have discovered PFT, because once Saban took over, and I'm sure I've told you this story before, Saban was a very unique individual who antagonized the local press corps to the point where I had multiple members of the press corps actively feeding me anything they could about Nick Saban that they weren't in a position to report because they knew how he would react if they did. So I think that's how you found us.
Well, actually, we were on, and his planes were different. No question. With Nick Saban, things are a lot different on the old airplane with the Dolphins. And a couple of his coaches that were college coaches, that a lot of them were NFL coaches, and now they're all doing great in college football again, all said, hey, you got to check out this Mike Florio stuff. He gets a lot of stuff that's going on. And he was talking about you were getting a lot of stuff that was going on with the Dolphins. And I was like, I got to get a hold of this guy, man. And of course, you've done great with everything. Hey, so anyway, I got to finish this up. You and I have hit and miss. I've been off. You don't take vacations very often, but I have taken some time. This Sorsby thing, were you surprised, Roger Goodell? We were trying to figure out what Roger was going to do on the supplemental draft and if he was going to suspend him. And he goes, no, don't worry about suspension. There's not going to be a supplemental draft. Did that surprise you at all?
Yes and no, because from the moment Sorsby pulled the plug on his lawsuit against the NCAA and applied for the supplemental draft, I just had a feeling, especially based on some of the people I talked to around the league and some of the things they had heard, there was just this sense that there was no guarantee the NFL would not try to find a way to impose essentially a one-year suspension on Sorsby. And if you slam the door on the supplemental draft, that's the same thing as a one-year suspension. If they had waited for him to be drafted and then suspended him, they would have had a problem, because there are two guys currently in the NFL who did exactly what Sorsby did in college, and they entered the league with no punishment. One of them, Patriots receiver Kayshon Boutte, actually bet on LSU games that he played in. That takes it up another level. To the extent that people think Brendan Sorsby was Paul Crewe, he never played in a game he bet on, and he stopped betting on college football once he started playing. So you have Kayshon Boutte and you have Hunter Deckers, a quarterback on the Saints roster who was at Iowa State, bet on the Iowa State team while he was on the roster but not playing. Those guys got into the NFL without anyone saying a word. So I think it would have been hard to pull off a suspension of Sorsby after he was drafted. So they have language in the CBA that supported the idea, we just don't have to have a supplemental draft if we don't feel like it. And I think that's a misapplication, because they've never not had one when a player is eligible. And there's nothing in the language of the CBA regarding eligibility for the supplemental draft that imposes any type of integrity test or purity test. It's very simple. If you weren't eligible for the draft in April and you become eligible by July, they will put you in the supplemental draft. You're eligible for the supplemental draft. That's all that should have mattered. So it didn't surprise me, because they tend to make up the rules as they go whenever they want. But it did surprise me because it was kind of brazen and blatant for them to do what they did.
Hey, Mike, World Cup time, and naturally the NFL gets in the middle of it. 9 of their stadiums put in natural grass. Players love natural grass. NFL says
they all want it.
There's no statistical injury difference between natural and artificial. And so the teams are going to go back to artificial once the World Cup. Should this matter? Doesn't matter? Is the players' union going to take it up?
92% of the players prefer grass to artificial turf, but there's a difference, Dave, between preference and priority. You can like grass better than turf, but where does it land on your list of things that you're going to try to bargain for when it's time to sit down across the table from the NFL? Because that's what it is at this point. And it's weird because plenty of stadiums have grass. We're only talking about the ones that don't. And are we willing to make some concession to the league to get them to put grass in all stadiums? And the more we talk about it as a union and the more we say we want it, that actually makes it a more valuable thing from the league's perspective. So it comes down to, are they willing to make it an issue they try to get from the league when it's time to do the next CBA? And would they ever strike over it? And we know, dating all the way back to 1987, how a strike goes for the NFL. So it's one thing to say we like it. It's another thing to say we're willing to do whatever it takes to get it, because the owners don't care. There's going to be no consequence to insisting on continuing to use artificial turf. People aren't going to stop watching games played on artificial turf. So players can huff and puff. The question is, are they willing to blow the house down over it? Because they could be blowing their own house down in an effort to get it.
Hey, Mike, this Terrion Arnold story is really interesting. Some people were surprised after the kidnapping and robbery charges that, first of all, he was let go right away. I'm guessing the Lions got together with the league on this whole thing. He's a former first-round pick in 2024. The second part of this thing that kind of surprised me, 3 teams have already contacted his agent. Did that surprise you on this thing a little bit?
That really does surprise me. And frankly, until the teams are identified, I'm not going to believe it.
Okay.
It may just be an effort to get someone to claim him on waivers. I don't know why anyone would claim him on waivers. He's got 2 years left on the contract, fully guaranteed. And I think the league is going to put him on the paid leave, commissioner exempt list. I think that's why the Lions cut him. Because you're right, Joe. These teams don't operate in a vacuum. They talk to the league, and the league tells them stuff, and the league gives them advice. It happens all the time. So the moment that Arnold received the ability to get out of jail pending trial with the posting of $1 million bond and no ankle monitoring device, he's confined to the home, but they want him to be able to go practice and play. And the judge said, hey, you can go do that. That's when the Lions said, hey, we got to move on. Because I think what was coming next, or at least at some point between now and the start of training camp, it would have been placement on paid leave, and he can't be there anyway, and the Lions are paying him anyway. And who knows how long this process is going to take with 5 or 6 total defendants and, the delays that happen when you're talking about criminal cases. It could be at least all of the 2026 season and into 2027. And here's the thing to remember. The fundamental rule of sports of all kinds at every level. Excuses are made for the stars and examples are made of the scrubs. Not that Arnold is a scrub per se. He's not the 55th guy on the roster, but he hasn't been good enough to get the Lions to say, we'll come up with a way to justify keeping him around despite these allegations. We'll continue to support his position. He didn't do anything wrong. If he'd been Sauce Gardner and all-pro his first 2 seasons in the NFL, he'd still be on the Lions roster right now.
Yeah, they'd wait around to see what the outcome was going to be. Hey, speaking of that, this kidnapping robbery, I saw your comments on it. With a firearm, and obviously a couple of those guys that got popped said, hey, it wasn't our idea. It's the guy that plays for the Lions. They must have pretty good evidence on this one. I know we're all innocent until proven guilty, but what's your take on this? This could be a tough one for Arnold.
I remember when this all came up middle of February. It was 2 guys who were arrested right out of the gates, and there was a court hearing, and a detective was testifying, and he testified to some links that the 2 guys had to Terrion Arnold. And I remember we posted a story about it, and a lot of people got pissed off that we would even post the story based upon what the detective said. But I had the little tingle at that point based upon what was happening, where this was going to go. They were going to work their way up the ladder, and they did it very carefully. They did it very slowly. They did it methodically. And 2 of the individuals pleaded guilty last Wednesday. And then the moment they struck their plea deal, that was within hours of the moment that Arnold got arrested. So I think they knew exactly where this was going. And I think there's a certain element of common sense here. If somebody stole $250,000 worth of property from a house that Terrion Arnold rented in Florida, and a group of vigilantes went O.J. Simpson style to take back the property, and it didn't happen without Arnold's knowledge or direction, I mean, what makes more sense here? There's a certain point where you just apply Occam's razor. What makes most sense? That Arnold was involved and did know, or he just went and took a nap while all these other people decided on their own to go try to steal the property back?
All right, Mike. If you're a grade giver, we're in the sort of this dead period of giving grades for off seasons, and I'm seeing ESPN gave the Dolphins an A-, considering. And Joe and I are kind of in agreement that for all they had to do is a pretty. I'm just curious from your national perspective. How do you look at the Dolphins and what they've done this off season?
Well, I'm very happy with the fact that the Dolphins have stabilized the top of the organization by hiring a general manager and a head coach who have little, if any, daylight between them, and they will work together. And that is such a critical relationship in any organization because there will be adversity. It's just a question of when it hits and how long it lasts and what you do to get through it. And when you have a GM and the head coach who aren't on the same page, you get a lot of finger pointing, you get a lot of infighting. You get people blaming others because when the hammer falls, you don't want it to fall on your head. And I think John Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley will be like the old three-legged race they would do at the company picnic. That's how the GM and the head coach need to be. Tie the left leg and the right leg together, and you either run or you both fall flat on your face. I like that. I like the idea of the culture they're trying to bring in. This addresses the cold weather narrative. And they explained to me, I've interviewed both of them separately over the past few months, this isn't about cold weather. This is about guys who will deal with whatever the world throws at them, whatever the game throws at them, whatever it is, heat, cold, wind, rain, whatever. Guys who will put that aside and go out and perform. That's the culture they're trying to build. And I have to assume that they know enough about football and that they've been around long enough to find the guys that they believe will perform in a way that makes that spread to the rest of the team. And the Malik Willis thing, that's the cherry on top. They went for him so quickly in free agency based upon being with him for 2 years. They know what this guy can do. This isn't just film study. This is a guy that they worked with. This is a guy that they lived with for 2 years, and they went straight for him, and they got him at a good price. I don't know that means contention for the playoffs this year, but I think it's a foundation that can lead to some very good things.
One other issue here with the Dolphins, a little bit, and that's what's going on with San Francisco and this Brandon Ayuk. It's a struggle. First of all, do we know anything, Mike? Like, is he 100% healthy? He keeps talking about, I'm going to go to the Commanders and the 49ers at some point. I'm guessing going to have to release him. How's this going to play out, and when does it play out?
Well, this one is ridiculously simple from Ayuk's perspective if he just does a couple of things that he has yet to do. He's technically not on the roster. He was placed last year on what they call the reserve left squad list. And once you are in that category, you can't get back onto the roster until you petition the league for reinstatement. He needs to petition the league for reinstatement. And supposedly it's automatic, but we thought the supplemental draft was automatic too. So let's not just assume that they're going to let him back onto the roster. But once he's back on the roster, if he shows up for training camp, if he shows up and says, hey, I'm here, I'm ready to work, they're going to cut him. Because if he goes into the weight room and drops a weight on his foot and he has a season-ending injury, if he goes out onto the practice field and he takes a too aggressive step and he pops his Achilles tendon, they're going to owe him more than $26 million for 2026. So he's just got to, number one, get reinstated to the roster. Number two, show up for training camp and they'll cut him right away. And then he can go sign with any team he wants. He can sign with the Commanders if the Commanders want him. And I assume the Commanders do, because with all these videos that he's been posting over the past few weeks where it's clear he wants to play for the Commanders, all they'd have to do is leak to an insider or one of their beat writers that they're not interested, and that would put an end to that, at least from a national conversation standpoint. The fact that they haven't said they aren't, I think, implies that they are. And if that's what he wants to do, one, file a petition for reinstatement. Two, show up for the first day of training camp. Three, he'll be released.
And Mike, he's going to start with a brand new contract over, or is he going to be able to work off this 49er contract for a new team?
No, it'll be a brand new contract. He'll be cut. That's the thing. They'd like to trade him, but part of the trade is you got to rip up that old contract.
Right.
And no one's stepped up and tried to work out any type of a trade. I think part of it too is, ever since last year, Ayuk's been difficult to get in touch with. He fired his agent last weekend, but in his mind, he had fired his agent last November. I don't think there's anyone in a position to reach him to even have the conversation about trying to redo his contract. So he needs to get an agent again. He needs someone who gives him good advice. And the best advice anyone can give him is file the petition for reinstatement, Stop posting the videos. And once you get reinstated, show up for training camp.
The one final part to this, Bobby Slowick, offensive coordinator for the Dolphins, was with San Francisco with them. I know people have mentioned that could happen. Could you see a brand new GM and head coach taking on somebody that potentially, if he's healthy, he could be a number one receiver again, or is that too much of a risk? What do you think?
Well, he's got to want to be there, first of all. And you control the risk by the contract that you give him. If the Commanders want him, you offer him a 1-year minimum contract.
Right.
And then if anything happens, one false move, you cut him. So the risk is a product of the financial investment. So the smaller the investment you manage to make in the guy, the less risk you have, because, hey, anything at all that we don't like, and we're going to cut you. And that's what I think makes him attractive to the Commanders, because I think they'll be able to get him for peanuts because he clearly wants to go play there.
Mike, I'll just wrap it with this. I thought you did a great job with Chris Johnson, former running back, who, by the way, is one of the most explosive guys that I've ever seen in person on TV, all the long runs and great stuff, and to see him with ALS now in his battle. I thought you did a real nice piece with that whole thing yesterday. And I got to ask you, as it's popped up, people have asked me, is there any affiliation with ALS and CTE? Have we heard anything, Mike?
Well, ALS is separate and apart from CTE, and they still don't really know what it means to have CTE and what it does, because there's no way to diagnose it in people who are alive. But when they reached the settlement of the concussion class action 13 years ago, and when it was ultimately finalized with an unlimited fund from the NFL for any players who retired before July 7 of 2014, you get a payment from that fund if you have one of just a handful of specific conditions. And the first one on the list is ALS. So I don't know how anyone could argue that there isn't a connection between ALS and football if any players who ever played and retired by July 7 of 2014 have ALS. They get a sizable check. No questions asked, no proof needed. That, to me, is all you need to know. There was a study that was done a few years ago that found that the rate of ALS for anyone who has played at least one NFL game is 4 times greater than the average population. But the fact that all you got to say is, I got ALS and I played in the NFL and I retired before July 7 of 2014, and I get this significant payment. It's driven by how many years you played, but it's a significant payment. Yes, if you play out, they say, and Tom Brady said this recently, we sign up for this. And you do sign up, going in, you may break your leg or get a concussion or, lose a spleen like Chris Sims did. You don't really and fully appreciate the long-term risks unless someone explains it to you. And I think that's part of our obligation, to make sure anyone who's putting that helmet on knows there's an enhanced risk to playing this sport, especially the longer you play it. You're going to wake up one day and your body's going to stop cooperating with you, and it's going to put you in what I think, you're in a prison in your own body. That's what's so insidious about it. Your brain still works, your body doesn't. And it's heartbreaking to see anyone who's in that situation. And it was just jarring to see Chris Johnson, because it wasn't that long ago he was playing. And you're right, Joe, he was incredible. First time I ever saw him play, 2008 preseason. He took a handoff from his own 35 against the Rams. He shot through the hole, and there was a guy from the Rams who thought he had an angle on him, and he had no chance. He was gone. And there's so many pictures we see of him that we use for our posts at PFT. Most of them, a lot of them, are a picture of Johnson running away from a defense. That's just how incredibly explosive he was. Yeah,
you were throwing his stats out on PFT. It was fantastic. Anyway,
only guy with 2,500 yards from scrimmage.
That's incredible. Yeah, incredible. And the long runs, game after game of breaking 60, 70-yard runs was just out of this world. Hey, Mike, have a great 4th, man. Really appreciate you coming on. Great getting caught up with you. Thank you. All right. Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk joining us this morning. A lot of good stuff, man.
Yeah, interesting. Even in the quietest time, the NFL's a lot of stuff to talk about.
Hey, first of all, when they break at the end of the year, they go, hey, you got some time off, stay out of trouble. And then they break again at the end of minicamp and go, hey, you got 5-6 weeks, make good decisions. It still happens.
So you guys used to have 4 months off, right? I mean,
Yeah, I like that. Just show up for mini camp.
I mean,
They actually would fly you in for mini camp too if you didn't live here. And then Shu started this thing. He started going around to guys saying, "Hey," and Doug Betters had just won the Defensive Player of the Year. I don't know if you remember. Doug was Defensive Player of the Year.
Talk to him.
And Shoes goes, "Hey, we're trying to get everybody. We're going to pay you a few bucks, but we want trying to keep the team to stay in South Florida in the off season." And Doug goes, "Coach, that ain't going to happen." He says, "I go to Montana," and that's his thing. And Doug was the first guy we're kind of watching, like when Shoes is going, "Hey, we'd like you to see you work out here in the off season." Doug's going, "I'm going to Montana, man." And
the best players set the standard for everybody else.
Yeah, it was like, okay, let's see how this goes. Because a lot of those guys were so used to heading back home, and the families are going back home, and then come in for mini camp, and then come back and start what used to be a 6 or 8 week camp compared to what they have now. My gosh, man. Remember all the preseason
now they
games?
can control everybody's time. They
well, a lot more money to do it now,
more money.
right?
Good
For
point.
sure.
Good point.
Hey, let's talk about your South Florida Chevy dealers this morning. Whether it's what kind of truck are you looking for? Maybe you're looking for, I just call it good old solid South Florida truck, man. A Chevy Colorado, really. The Colorado Custom to the ZR2. Boy, it's got everything you need for South Florida lifestyle. Now, I want to get into Chevy Silverado because that's a whole different level, man, for me. Whether you're talking about the Custom Trail Boss to the Silverado EV, with 10 models and 4 powerful engine choices, Silverado delivers an impressive balance of strength, dependability, efficiency. I mean, everything you could ever want. Hey, you want someone who works as hard as you do? A lot of you out there use a truck. That's how you make a living every day, and you don't stop until that job is done. We got a Silverado truck for you. Maybe it's got to be a family truck as well, and maybe you need a truck with all that extra power to tow your boat around and your wave runners and all the fun you and your family have. We got it for you. You got to stop by one of the 14 dealerships throughout South Florida during 4th of July. Get yourself a great deal. Take a test drive. Check it out, man. If they don't make a truck for you, nobody makes a truck perfect for you. For the best of Florida life, Chevy's got a Florida truck. Visit your local South Florida Chevy dealers today or this weekend. Together, let's drive. I want to say this, Dave. We got a few minutes here before we shut her down here, and I appreciate you coming in for the week with us here, bud. And got a lot going on here, but I want to say a few things to you. First of all, about the World Cup, I want to say some things. I'm not its biggest fan as far as sporting events compared to here, but I've really enjoyed this one. I'm going to tell you why. Somebody said this, and it might have been you. The crowd, part of it is the passion of these crowds that show up. Number one, they were afraid. Remember, everybody said when FIFA and they cracked down and nobody was going to come over here, they look like they're very healthy. The big crowds coming over here. Oh, they won't come now with everything going on in the world. They're here.
Well, you've been doing the Norwegian row during breaks, which is very like all the Norwegian fans.
Well,
so
listen,
you've really gotten into it. I'm very proud.
I have a favorite team. Well, I have two favorite teams. Neither one of them United States. Portugal is that has to do.
That's why you're ripping the Portugal, because they're your team. I didn't realize that was
man.
why you've been ripping them. Okay,
yeah.
Who else?
Portuguese, the linguista in my blood, and the second one is France. They're fun to watch.
Oh, you're the front runner then. That's what you.
And I like Messi. Messi and Argentina right in there, and then United States. But look, for some reason, United States got to the finals. It'd be great. And I like the fact that we have 6 or 7 games down here. Right?
Wait. The U.S. isn't your top team?
No.
How could they not be your top team? That's who you are. You root for the home team, Joe.
I said they're my third or fourth favorite team.
That just doesn't make any sense. You got to root for the American team.
I know, man.
You don't get to root for the French team.
I do too.
You're an American.
Mbappe and those guys, man. What do you think, Jamie? You got a problem with that too? You're giving me that look.
I absolutely have a problem with that.
Thank you. It makes no sense, right?
We're in the United States. You're an American. You root for the USA.
I am an American. I know that. Thank you. I'm a California, Florida American.
We have a team to root for right now.
We do.
They're playing very well. They've done everything you could hope for to this point.
It's been a great story. I love it. It's a great story.
But they don't top I can't even say it. I'm so upset. They don't even crack your top 3.
I like when you tried to say it fast. I like it better. No, man, it's been great. And having the games at Hard Rock Stadium has been fantastic. Anybody wouldn't want those events there? It's great.
Well, it's going to be great tomorrow night. Messi and
how good is that?
The big show comes back home, really, in some respect, to the big stadium. So 2,500. I looked it up during the break. 2,500 a ticket still.
Oh man, wow! Like every game.
I'm going to fly down to Buenos Aires and watch the game.
Yeah, you can do that for less. Every you know what's funny about this whole thing is it's like Super Bowl. Every one of these games like a mini Super Bowl prices of these things. I got to tell you, games for the national championship game, Miami, Indiana, they were expensive. My friends paid $6,000 a ticket.
Would you pay, Joe?
I didn't pay.
Well, either did I. I was there. I didn't pay. I was in the press box.
I didn't pay, and I had a great seat. Thank you. I had a great seat. And so did my wife. I knew it was a big event when my wife, who doesn't like to go to sporting events, goes, I'll go. I'll go. So who are we going to be sitting with? I said, I have no idea, but it's a nice box. She goes, okay, let's do it. Yeah. So that was it. Anyway. Yeah, man. Just a lot of great stories coming out. I sat and watched England. I caught it. They're in the second half, and England was down 1-0 before Harry Kane. They call him Sir Harry Kane now, with 2 goals in the last 15 minutes. And then Belgium, they're down 2-0. I'm talking to you, and they come back with what seemed like last 5 or 6 minutes.
That's like coming back from 28-3, and the Patriot. That
we have to do that now to people. We have to
you have to translate it, and then they win. And now the U.S. plays Belgium. The last time the U.S. reached this level, they lost to Belgium, and Belgium's top players were Lukaku and De Bruyne, and now those same guys are still there. They're just a lot older on the Belgian team.
My final thing for the casual soccer fan. I don't know if you guys agree with this, Jamie and All Day Dan Day, but when the stars of these teams and they promote them, like the Harry Kanes and Mbappe and Messi, and you can go through, there's a Holland, you can go through all these guys from these different teams who are the best players in the world, and you see them playing at a high level in these events, it's big. And you hear what they're saying about the greatness of what they're doing in the biggest moments. And these games are much bigger than those Premier League games. And when these things, this is for the country, man.
Well, remember Messi, until the last World Cup, he was under a lot of pressure for not winning a World Cup.
He was considered the second best player in his own country.
And he actually quit the national team. He said he was going to stop playing for the national team when they lost because the pain was, I guess the pain or something was so much. But
he's going to be the number one guy you blame, the best player. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And he's compared to Maradona in Argentina, and he hadn't won a World Cup. So
did you see that documentary on him? It's fantastic.
Maradona?
Yeah.
No. I saw it advertised, but I haven't seen it.
He was around during the cocaine days. If we're going to be honest, he was a little wild. He'd have fit in with some of my teammates, and I went down here. He might have been one of the wilder guys actually in the 80s. But yeah, wow. And how good he was crazy. But
he had a wild life and a wild career.
But he won a World Cup.
And he won a World Cup.
And that World Cup.
And he had the hand of God goal.
That World Cup thing means a lot to your resume, right? Look at how we look at Messi since he won that last World Cup. And since then, now everybody's going, and plus what he's done here and now with what he's doing with 6 goals in this tournament. Yeah, it's been fun. That's a good way to kind of finish things up. And see what happens. And of course, the LeBron. Maybe next week I call you and go, hey, LeBron's
got LeBron.
We got him. He's here. Part of the big 3. I'm working on a new picture of them, of the 3 of them.
That'd be tremendous. It'd be a great
Eric Reed up there interviewing all 3 of them at the like they did with the big 3.
It'd be good for business, Joe.
Dave, thank you, man. I appreciate it. It was great. And I'm going to take a couple of days off and relax. Vacation time.
I
don't know about that. I don't know if I deserve it. I'm looking at some of these mean-spirited comments. Boy, you guys are really mean. Hope you guys enjoy your 4th of July. Thank you so much.